Woodward. We are starting off your day with a brand new crew. Meet Broder.
I can't control my arms sometimes. My limbs are just kind of flying.
Detroit Kool-Aid.
Fired up!
Y'all got Kool-Aid.
I'm fired up! But with the Wake Up Woodward crew, he's actually a part of the family.
Flannel Sam.
Ask me about my wiener.
Okay.
Along with JB and KG. Wake Up Woodward gets you all of your Detroit sports talk. Every morning, 8 to 10 a.m. Live on Woodward Sports. A show for Detroit, by Detroit, with people from Detroit. Tell Siri to set an alarm, because it's time to Wake Up Woodward.
What up, though, people? Thank you guys for choosing to kick off the day with the Wake Up Woodward crew. We got the starting five in the building. Shout out to that dude, Justin. But what up, though? Flannel Sam up here on the desk alongside your boy Brandon there, a.k.a. Detroit Kool-Aid.
Hey, it's good to have you back, man.
Hey, feels good to be back.
You know, I'm kind of like you, Broder, where most mornings I listen to talk sports or YouTube or something like that. But today I actually went with some music. Any Dance Gavin Dance fans in the chat? Come on, a little metalcore Thursday to start your day. That's how I was feeling.
Wait,
That's how you feeling?
That's how I'm feeling.
Let's go. Let's go.
The band is called Dance Gavin Dance.
Dance Gavin Dance.
Yes.
All right, now. And you said metalcore?
Yes.
I don't know either of those.
That's all right.
I don't know either of those.
That is quite all right. But if anybody in the chat, any Dance Gavin Dance fans in the chat, drop it so
you're already fired up then.
I'm feeling pretty good. Yeah.
Fired up. I like that. What up, though, Matthew Broder, our credentialed Tigers and Lions reporter and writer.
Hey, Kool-Aid,
Hey.
you look tan.
Hey, you know what? I got a lot of sun down there. A lot of sun in there.
That's too much sun.
Oh my God.
Dude, we're pumped to have you back. Oh, it was fun. It was
glad to
fun
be back.
hosting in that seat with Flannel.
I'm glad to be back. I mean, you know what? Hey, it's an all-star cast.
Yeah, do you know the story of Wally Pipp, Kool-Aid?
I don't.
Okay, I'll tell
Explain
you
it
one
to
day.
me. Okay.
It was a joke. I'm not coming for your job, bro.
Thought we was getting reverse education for
No.
us.
But look. And that's why I love this show. I'm up here because people made the decisions to allow me to have this opportunity.
Hell yeah.
My brothers, man. So I appreciate that. It's a good thing.
Oh,
And
yeah.
you know what? Shout out to the brothers in the booth as well.
What up?
Shout out to Detroit's #1 draft pick in the sound booth. That is KG, Black Hollywood.
What up,
What up,
man?
though, brother?
Hey, feeling good, man. Just good to have you back, man. How was your trip?
It was good. It was good. It was
good.
it was needed. You know, the day that I kind of took off to kind of go out with wifey and everything, it was like, wow, really haven't done this in a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
We
it
get
felt
caught
good.
up in this cycle, man.
Get caught
This
up in the cycle.
work, sleep, repeat, man. Trust me, I'm feeling it too. So
Yeah.
Peasant, be careful what you tell the bar king.
you damn right. Oh, yeah. You're reigning.
Be careful.
Hey, tell me about that shirt too, brother.
Oh, you know it's the GOAT, man. Come on now. This Mr. Jordan,
Oh,
man.
okay. I see.
You
what
can't
he
see
did
it under
there. a day
my
after.
lower third. That's false with the pictures, but
So,
you know.
so a day after your Mount Rushmore,
Oh,
you had
yeah.
to wear the shirt.
Oh
to
yeah,
validate.
had to.
Yeah, I
Had to.
like it. Hey, you know what? Fire hat, man. Shout out to JB Smooth. You know what? I'm gonna say it anyway. I don't even care.
Yo.
In the titty booth,
Damn
Woodward
right.
Sports is MVP. What up, though?
Double D's.
Hey,
Let's go.
what's up, y'all?
The
What's
jersey,
going on?
the hat. You gotta explain it all.
Oh, well, I mean, the hat, you know, Detroit Tigers, of course. And the jersey,
Come
college
on.
football.
Miami Hurricanes.
The Miami
Come
Hurricanes.
on now.
Yes, I just got the email. The game will be here on Friday, but I still have to wait till after work so I can play it. But it's always a you, baby.
Hey, man, it feels good to be back. It really does. It really does. Chat family, as always, you guys are the most important part of this thing. So go on ahead and smash that like button. Satisfy that like button. Treat her right. What do you tell them, KG?
Oh, be good to her.
Be good
Be
to her.
gentle.
Be gentle.
Hey.
There we go. Let's get those likes up.
Everybody in the chat right now,
Getting tipsy.
make some noise for my boy Kool-Aid back in the saddle.
Let's satisfy it. Yeah.
Go ahead, hit that like button.
Hey,
for
let's
him.
go. Let's go.
Love
Mr. Matthew Broder, you want to tell the people what we are talking about today?
I just I kind of want to hear Sam Flannel sing a like an R&B song.
Ah, stop.
Nobody wants to hear that.
Hey, just
you gotta-
button one more button on that shirt and take it away.
I don't think anybody wants to hear that.
Get him a leather
I know
flannel.
what you mean. I can't sing at all.
Get him an all leather flannel.
I mean, I suppose if you get the likes up enough, I might do it someday. But it's gonna have to be something
That's
that
on wax.
we haven't reached yet. I will just say that.
250
that.
today?
I like
No, more.
300. I want more. 300.
You know what? I'm not committing to anything just quite yet. Because,
You're a smart man,
He's
Flannel.
already wait for a J-Mo jersey.
yeah, right. I'm okay with that, but I know I talk on air for a living, but singing makes me nervous. I don't want to sing for all you people. Come on.
I love you, Flannel.
Love you too.
We got a packed show. We're going to just finish off, put a bow on this Tarek Skubal conversation. We kind of jammed it in at the end of the show yesterday, and we were talking. We just want to finish our points, make sure that everyone understands all sides of this, because I don't think anybody wants to trade Tarek Skubal, but we want to put the pieces together to see why it might make sense, why it might make not. So we're going to start the show off with that. We're going to end that baby by 8:30. Then we're going to get into the Lions. We're going to we're going to talk about year 2 players and who's more important to this Lions team in their year 2. We're going to have a segment on Michigan football, college football specifically, talking about the Michigan defense, just a review of some of the players returning, an outlook on the season from a defensive perspective. Remember, they got Wink Martindale in Ann Arbor, so there are things that this Michigan team can do. And then we're revisiting a new game we started. Was it earlier this week? I think it was earlier this week.
Yeah, it was Monday.
Me wrong. Prove KG wrong. He's got some statements. We got to do some sales pitches. It's a really fun one. I saw some of his prompts he's going to ask us. So, chat, we need your engagement at 9 o'clock. Let's go, Bass.
Let's rock. Let's get into these layup lines, man. Let's get warmed up. Let's get into this action. Let's kick this thing off.
Yes. So, Woodward Sports posted on their Twitter a couple days ago just a little prompt to the followers to see if you can steal one player from another team for the Lions, but it can't be a quarterback, who would it be? Steal one player around the NFL from any team to add on to this Lions team, not counting a quarterback. Who would it be?
Max Crosby.
Ooh,
That's fair.
that's a great one.
Max
Why?
Crosby to this team Super Bowl run.
Tell me why.
That's a good one.
I mean, you want to solidify that defensive line, man? You got an edge rusher like Max Crosby with Aiden Hutchinson?
That's
Are you
nasty.
kidding me? DJ Reader in the middle? That's a Super Bowl appearance to me.
That is a great one. And I'll go next because I'm thinking along the same lines. I'm going to go Myles Garrett for basically the same reason. To me, if we're actually ranking best edge rushers in the NFL, I would probably put Myles Garrett number 1. And if you put him and Aiden Hutchinson on as bookend edge rushers, that's just absolutely terrifying. With Ali McNeil and DJ Reader, that is a historic defensive line.
Yeah.
That is probably the most talented bookend edge rushers on one team we've ever seen.
Yeah.
We're talking a guaranteed top 10 defense. We're talking about, like KG said, being the favorites to win the Super Bowl if you put Myles Garrett on this team.
Hey, look, defensively, Max Crosby to me has to be the pick, especially, man, bring the guy home. Shout out to him as well, donating all that money out to Eastern Michigan University. And I guess that helped their recruiting this year. Read between the lines. But Matthew Kruger said the player that I was thinking about on offense, and that is Justin Jefferson.
Ooh.
Oh, so you got to take this offense to the next level.
Yeah, listen, man, take that group and just send it to the absolute moon. I think that would absolutely make this offense something that you can't rival. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Justin Jefferson, Sam LaPorta.
JB, before we go to you,
Man.
Paul Thomas, Chris Jones, Eric
That's a good
Allen,
one.
TJ Watt, Ed O'Neill, Nick Bosa. There's a lot of Max Crosbys. I see Michael Weary, Shane D. Chase Amley says Derek Brown from the Panthers.
Okay. See, you have any player in the NFL, and I like Derek Brown. He's a damn good player. Any player in the NFL that you could steal non-quarterback and you pick Derek Brown. You're also the one with De'Aaron Fox on your Mount Rushmore of favorite athletes. So
You got to chill on him, man. It's his pick.
I understand that it's a personal preference, but it's De'Aaron Fox. See, I'm noticing a trend. You want Derek Brown out of any player in the NFL, and De'Aaron Fox is on your Mount Rushmore of favorite athletes.
He gave Marvin Bagley buckets in college, though. He did.
That's fair. And he also outdueled Lonzo Ball one-on-one in the NCAA tournament. And he's a damn good NBA player. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying. And Chase Amley, you're the man. Couple questionable choices, at least to me. One of them is an opinion, though. I will give you that. One of them is an opinion.
I love the setup, though, the preface. Hey, you are the man, but I love it.
JP.
Oh, man. You guys pretty much said all the ones that I was thinking of. Max Crosby, Justin Jefferson, Chris Jones. That's another one. Nick Bosa. And hey, one that's a guy that's trying to leave their place right now, Brandon Ayuk. That would be perfect to add to this offense. So give me Brandon Ayuk.
Okay.
So you're going with Brandon Ayuk.
Yep.
Is that enough for you to rip him too?
Right.
Well,
I was about to say.
Of all the teams, you're
ain't
going to
gonna
go
rip
get Brandon
JB.
Ayuk.
Well, yeah.
I'm most realistic. Let's be honest.
Well, but this isn't about being realistic.
Right,
Realistically, Myles Garrett is never coming to the Lions.
Exactly.
I like if you're going wide receiver, and this isn't an attack on you, JB, at least go for the big gun and Justin Jefferson
yeah.
for the purpose of this assignment. Would Brandon Ayuk in a vacuum help this team? Absolutely. But we're talking about, at least when it comes to guys like Myles Garrett and Justin Jefferson, those are guys who I predict will go down as some of the all-time greats in NFL history, period.
Some moves
Yeah.
that guarantee a Super Bowl. Yeah.
Right.
I get it. It's
yeah.
almost it's pretty close.
Yeah.
One quick question.
Yes.
Just to kind of piggyback on this layup line, what former Detroit Lion would you bring back if there was one?
Calvin.
Calvin.
Easy.
Yeah.
Calvin.
Yeah.
Calvin with J-Mo and Amon-Ra.
Okay, you're right.
Come on now. Come on now.
See, that seems. I mean, can we take Calvin and Barry out of this? Like,
It
if
makes
we're
it-
taking quarterback out of the NFL conversation, obviously Calvin or
Yeah.
although you got Gibbs and Montgomery, you can't not say Barry or Calvin, right?
So if we're going off of that, then yeah, Robert Porsche.
Yeah, poor
I know that was your answer, but if we're saying no Calvin, no Barry, it'd be Robert Porsche.
Kevin Smith. Nah, I'm talking shit. But no,
Goster.
realistically, probably Herm, man. Put Herman Moore back on that team.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't get
That's
enough
your
love.
Josh Reynolds replacement.
He doesn't get enough love.
He doesn't.
Herman Moore.
By the way, he was way better than Josh Reynolds. I need a disclaimer. Herman Moore's underrated.
10 times better.
Okay, yeah, just to make sure that gets out there. JB? Jason Hansen says Ed O'Neill?
Please.
Jason Hansen. Oh my
No,
god.
for real though.
Jason. I mean, that wouldn't be a bad
Look
option
at Sam,
either.
like, no, why?
That wouldn't be a bad
He's the
option, but
Lions'
no.
all-time leading scorer. Why not?
He's a kicker.
He's the most sure kicker we've ever had.
I don't give a damn. We're going through Lions history and Jason Hansen.
I'm not mad at that. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I've never understood. I've heard people on this network say that it's an absolute outrage that Jason Hansen's number isn't retired. He's a kicker.
It doesn't matter.
And this isn't, and
He
I
was
get
the
it.
lifeblood of the Lions for at least 10 years.
Well, that's sad.
The distress on Flato's face, dog.
It's definitely sad, but these are the facts.
Oh, my God.
Those are the facts, Flannel.
That
And
man
Jason
didn't
Hansen
miss.
wouldn't be a bad option. Shout out to him as well, too. I got his autographed mini helmet, but
The man didn't miss, man.
the man didn't miss.
I'm
But
just
I
saying.
probably got to go with Calvin on this one, if anything.
No,
or
you can't.
Oh, Benny Blades.
Benny
Oh,
Blade.
that's interesting.
Nice.
That's an
Okay,
all-time
good,
name.
good call. Good call.
There's some good ones in the chat, too. Dante151, he said a good one. Chris Spillman.
That's a great one.
Talk about the DNA of this team.
They got
Chris
Those
Spillman
guys have
on this
kicked
team,
it
though.
off. He is.
They got
In
Cam.
front
They got
office.
Jack.
He's a part of it still.
No, that would be a great one.
Yeah,
What
absolutely.
about Ndamukong Suh?
Yeah.
Bring
No,
that
wasn't
nasty
bad.
edge.
Crazy.
that's the crazy thing is Ndamukong Suh's the obvious one. I'm just thinking more about filling needs. But then again, when it comes to Sue, doesn't that just kind of go out the window?
Yeah.
Like,
Sue, DJ Reader, and Aleem off the bench.
I said, make a leave a death piece. Yeah, right? Yeah.
And Sue with a coach like Dan Campbell.
Oh,
That's
man.
nuts, bro.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a crazy combo
Yeah.
to me.
That's
Yep.
nasty. That was fun, though. That's just going to take us right into break. Let's go to break so we can come back, knock out this Skubal conversation, and get the show rolling.
Absolutely. But, if you want to get strong enough to knock people out, work out at Planet Fitness, of course. It's fitness that fits your budget. No matter where you are, there's a Planet Fitness close by. There are more than 50 in Metro Detroit and thousands more throughout the world. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, friendly, knowledgeable staff, and a totally judgment-free atmosphere. Did you know that all Planet Fitness memberships include fitness training for no extra cost? Want all the perks? Upgrade to the PF Black Card and enjoy use of amenities such as unlimited use of the Black Card Spa, featuring hydro massage, massage chairs, and total body enhancement, and more, along with access to over 2,500 locations worldwide and unlimited guest privileges. For more information or to join today, visit your local Planet Fitness or planetfitness.com.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Hot loves Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
At Planet Fitness, you can get everything you need for just $1 down.
Trying out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Hey, y'all better get on these free fitness training sessions from Planet Fitness.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home? Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
Join Planet Fitness today and get everything you need for just $1 down. $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, July 18th.
Okay.
Hey, dealing with divorce, child custody, visitation, or other family law issues, Kevin and Catherine at KDK Law in Birmingham will have your back. With 10 plus years of experience and 24/7 availability. Scan the QR code right there above my head on the screen or call 248-971-0476. Say Woodward Sports sent you and KDK will pay your filing fee. KDK Law, they've got your back.
They've got your back, and you already know that Wake Up Woodward has your back. And chat family, I hope you guys have our back. So go on ahead and smash and satisfy that like button. Let's zoom right on through the like goal today. It's a lot of good content on the topic menu. And we got to get back into something that got socials a little bit jumping yesterday, Broder. It was, bro, what did you do?
No, I dig it. Like, it's so weird being in this position, kind of explaining, like, why. I'm not for a Skubal trade, but why a trade might be considered, why it might be the right move, why it might be reasonable, but that all this swarm, this wave of Tigers faithful, they are Tigers faithful, are coming to his defense. Like, I don't necessarily agree with all of the reasons or lack of justification why they're against considering, but the fact that they're coming to the defense of their star pitcher, I dig that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm all for it. That shows that he means something a little more than just his play on the field. But because he's so good, this has to be talked about and considered due to everything coming together at this very point in time. Both him, his future contract, and the teams competing for a World Series this year. It has to be thought about.
You're trying to be objective. And you have to be in this line of work, or else I think it's disingenuous to the people that we are serving. We can definitely tell what our biases are, but ultimately you got to talk about the options that are also on the table as well, which we do, I think, pretty well throughout all of the sports teams that we cover.
Yep.
And you have to do it with Tarek Skubal, especially when you consider the fact that this is one of the first prospects we've had in a very long time that can really get you a king's ransom.
100%. And before we move on to the Red Sox and the Dodgers haul, I wanted to just touch quickly on the Orioles one as well. Because
JB, could you put that back up if you could?
Yeah,
because this is something that I don't know if I explained well enough yesterday. I obviously mentioned how having Jackson Holliday, Samuel Basallo, and Kobe Mayo would give you 5 of the top 15 MLB top 100 prospects if you also include Max Clark and Jackson Jobe, which you would. However, what I also think is important to impress upon is Jackson Holliday and Kobe Mayo. Maybe the day after they were hypothetically traded to the Tigers, they would start the next day. These are MLB-ready players. Jackson Holliday, we obviously saw at the beginning of the season, he struggled a bit. But in AAA, his on-base percentage is like .440. That's absolutely ridiculous. And a Kobe Mayo, he's a guy who's about 22 years old, has paid his dues in the minors, is raking in AAA. So with this type of a trade, you might see your dividends right away. And oh, by the way, one more thing that I want to impress upon, I haven't even got to Chase McDermott, which is like pitching prospect replenishment with the Tigers, is that this is the type of move that I don't know if the Orioles would even do. This is the type of move that if you are Scott Harris, you say, this is what I want. And then if they don't give it to you, you can tell, them to kindly piss off. And then you could say, oh, okay, I guess you don't want to win a World Series then. Because Corbin Burns, by the way, the reason you know the Orioles are going all in is because Corbin Burns is a UFA this offseason. So you might only have one chance to get Corbin Burns and Tarek Skubal on the same team, but you got to give me this. This is what I want to impress upon. The last person that wants to trade Tarek Skubal is me, because I think the Tigers are further along than most. but this haul is something that the Nationals didn't even get back for Juan Soto. This is something that the Baltimore Orioles might even hang up on you for. So if they're willing to do this, it's pick. In a scenario trading Tarek Skubal, this is how good of a haul we're talking about.
And Flannel, that's the exact scenario that the Tigers want to be in.
Yeah.
You've got the leverage. Any trade that you're considering, and hypothetically, should you make a trade, it needs to hurt the other team.
Yeah.
Like, that's when you know it's good, where the Orioles don't want to do this, but they end up giving it at the end because they want to go for a World Series, because there are some other teams chasing them that I'm going to get to here in a second. All of that combined, like Scott Harris, just as the Orioles, when they hang up the phone after making this trade, they need to be, shoot, did we do the right thing?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know about that one. On the other end, Scott Harris and everybody in that front office, when they put the phone down, since trading Tarek Skubal puts everyone's job on the line, you need to hang up the phone and everyone's like, yeah, I'm glad we did that. I'm willing to go down with that ship.
Yep.
And that's the type of ship that you're willing to go down with. And if the Orioles say, no, hey, we don't want to do this, like Flannel said, you hang up this phone, say slightly, tell them to piss off, and you go, all right, let me go call the third place team in your division, the team that's coming for you, the Red Sox.
Yep.
JB, if you could throw up that graphic, because the Red Sox,
that's the one I'm interested in.
They don't have the Major League ready talent right now in their farm system, but they have some dudes. They have packages that they can get very, very intriguing. And to the Red Sox, who are, what are they, 2.5, 3 games behind both the Orioles and the Yankees?
They're coming, yeah.
They're coming. They're playing hot. Best thing that can happen for the Tigers is the Red Sox come out of this break and win 6, 7, 8 of their next 10 games. But you offer them, hey, you got 2.5 years of team control. You might be able to compete for a World Series this year, chase the Orioles and Yankees, or be the favorites next year, or at the very least, you're keeping Tarek Skubal away from the Orioles for, at minimum, the next 2.5 years. You would think the Orioles are looking to sign him long term. So you're keeping Tarek Skubal out of your division and putting him on your team if you sign him. Right here, we got Marcelo Mayer, Marcelo Mayer, Roman Anthony, Kyle Teal, Richard Fritz, and Vladimir Asensio. I added a fifth. We got the number 1, 2, and 3 prospects in their system, plus the top pitching prospect and a more long-term outfield prospect. But again, these guys, Flannel, and I know you're more familiar with them, they're not going to come in immediately and start, whether this year, maybe even not the beginning of next year. This is more of a time capsule.
I could see Marcelo Mayers being the starting shortstop for the Detroit Tigers in 2025.
Yeah.
The thing about this deal that isn't quite as appealing as the Orioles one is there's only one Jackson Holiday, and Marcelo Mayer, he's a damn good shortstop prospect, but he's not Jackson Holiday, and they don't have the MLB ready guys right now. All 3 of those top 3 prospects in their system are currently in AA. But again, this is the type of haul that if you're trading Tarek Skubal, this is what you want to get. Marcelo Mayer, Roman Anthony, and Kyle Teal are all top 25 MLB prospects. And if you're the Boston Red Sox, when you're looking at what they've done this season, a lot of guys that most of us had never heard of, guys that maybe the Red Sox were higher on but weren't the big names like the Rafael Devers, they have stepped up huge this year. Like a guy like David Hamilton, he's been the starting shortstop for the Red Sox most of the season. He's played absolutely phenomenally, at least based off of what you expected from him. Maybe they don't need a Marcelo Mayer as much. With Roman Anthony, you've got Jarren Duran. You've got, what's that guy's name? Looking for him. Oh, yeah, Wilyer Abreu. Guys like that who have stepped up absolutely huge for them. Maybe you don't need a Roman Anthony. And, of course, you've got Connor Wong as your starting catcher. Maybe the Red Sox feel like these guys are maybe a little more expendable than you think. And Tarek Skubal, this might be the type of move where if they get him, they would pass the Orioles and the Yankees and maybe win the AL East. And with the team control, they'd have Tarek Skubal for a couple more seasons. But again, I want to impress this on everybody. If you call the Red Sox, if you're Scott Harris, this is what you ask for. Mm-hmm. If they're not willing to give it to you, tell them to piss off, and we get our ace back.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's really not that complicated.
I think it's appropriate. It shows that there's an absolute value on who you believe Tarek Skubal to be for your organization. So if this is a guy that you're going to even consider trading, it has to be for something that people say, hey, that's outlandish.
Yes.
Okay, then.
Yes.
That's just the way that this thing goes.
If, like I said, the Red Sox might not do it, The Red Sox might not do this trade. They might be like, okay, you can have Mayer and Teal, but you can't have Roman Anthony. It's like, all right then,
cool,
bye.
That's why this is so polarizing, especially on social media, because you put something out like this, and you're getting a swarm of people saying this is unrealistic. Why would they ever do it? But that's why you offer it, because you need to ask for a king's ransom. And Matthew Kruger, I'm going to pick on you, not because I disagree with this, but I think a lot of people share this same sentiment. He says, keep Skubal, Mize, and Flaherty. Quit being ridiculous. Like, get real. All right, so if you do keep Skubal, let's talk about what the next steps have to be. Like, if you're keeping Skubal, you're banking on them both committing to him long term, and you have confidence that your ownership is willing to go out this winter immediately, not wait a couple weeks, like this winter, and go spend and get bats. And if I'm not mistaken, like 95% of the Tigers fan base or people calling in and writing in have been pissed that why didn't they go get Matt Chapman and JD Martinez? Like, they're just 2 bats away. Like, you're not going out and trying to get, no offense to Mark Canha and Gio Urshela. If you're keeping Skubal, you have to go get 2 top MLB, not all-star bats, but like $15 to $25 million, like real bats.
Consistent.
For, 1, 2, 3 year contracts. So in the next 2 years, you're competing with Tarik Skubal, because you know what? Scott Boras, he's taking Tarik Skubal to free agency. So at the end of 2 years, you're walking away from Jackson Holiday in this package. You're spending minimum 8 years, $400 million. $400 million. Right now, Justin Verlander, Max Scherzer. Verlander's 41, Scherzer's 39. They're the highest paid pitchers per year in the bigs. They make $43.3 million.
Well, and that's the thing. If you're willing to do that, if the Tigers are willing to give Tarik Skubal a long-term contract right now, then all of this talk can be null and void. And I want to respond to something that Ed O'Neill said in the chat. Would this be like trading Sewell or Hutch? No. I actually think not even close, because Sewell and Hutch are cornerstone pieces on a team that we think can win the Super Bowl this year. They are cornerstone pieces who play every single game, who play some of the most important positions on the field. With Tarik Skubal, if you could get a pitching staff full of 5 Tarik Skubals, you win the World Series, obviously. But they only affect a game 1 out of every 5 days. You can be Tarik Skubal and be the Cy Young winner. He is the Cy Young favorite right now, and the Tigers are under 500. The point of potentially trading him is what you could get back in return for him, and whether or not Scott Harris and Chris Ilitch feel like he is worth the long-term investment, given the fact that you don't have enough around him right now, and we don't know if they're ever going to get enough around him. So no, trading Tarik Skubal is much lesser than trading Hutch or Sewell.
I like how he phrased that, though. Would you consider this more like if the Chargers were offered a trade for Justin Herbert, and in return they received Will Johnson, Mason Graham, Will Campbell out of LSU, Michael Williams, and then insert your preference of quarterback, Carson Beck, Quinn Ewers, Shedeur Sanders. Like, you're getting some of the top prospects in the NFL draft in 2025, plus a quarterback for Justin Herbert.
Once you added the plus a quarterback prospect, that would be pretty similar.
Gotcha.
Just because, Justin Herbert, they could have all the talent in the world, but if Easton Stick is your quarterback, you're still going to blow. But the purpose of that would be if you got like a Carson Beck or a Shedeur Sanders or Quinn Ewers. I actually think that's a pretty apropos comparison.
But if you're going to pay Tarik Skubal, it has to be, like you said, Broder, with the playoffs in mind. You can't wait. You got to kind of push that button and make sure that you're putting a team out there where you can take advantage of the full value of Tarik Skubal, because even though during a regular season you're going to get him 1 out of every 5 games, the value there is that I know he's going to win. So we're going to get Kenta Maeda if he's a starter, maybe 1 every 5 games, but I can't pencil that in as a dub.
Yeah.
With Skubal during the regular season, I know we can pencil that in as a dub. And then when you get to the playoffs, what made the Tigers so dangerous back in the day was the fact that, you know what? You're probably getting Verlander once every 3 days if you have to now. And so if you're going to sign him, I'm hoping is with the mindset that you're going to go out there and push for the playoffs right now to maximize paying him a boatload of cash.
Yeah, and we got people like Matt Kruger in the chat saying, the talk about prospects is cool, but we have a guy in our system named Spencer Torkelson that it didn't work with. And with a deal like this, you get more cracks at the apple, and you're taking chances on everyday players instead of a pitcher that pitches once every 5 days. And when you have so many holes in your infield, you need as many cracks at the apple as possible. Yes, you're not going to hit on every prospect, but the goal is to have enough of a farm system to where you can field your team, man. So I get it, but you're not gonna hit on everybody. It's
and
just
for that
the
very
reality.
reason, the Tigers right now are relying on their prospects, their farm system, their Spencer Torkelsons as the timeline for contention. This is a way to just inject the strongest steroids ever into that system. With the Orioles, it would be to transform AAA and your major league roster. With the others, it's transforming from top to bottom of your system. But it's either to contend before the end of Tarik Skubal's contract with the Tigers, you have to go buy hitters. You have to spend real money.
Yeah.
Do you have confidence they're going to do that and re-sign him for $400 million?
Nah.
But that's the combination that would have to happen.
Yeah.
Sheesh. And that's why you got to talk about it.
Well,
That's why you
that's how you have to talk about it. And I know that this conversation is going to be framed as like, oh my God, Broder and Flannel and KG and Kool-Aid want to trade Skubal. How dare they? I know, but that's what people are going to say. And the reason I know that is because I see Herb Nash in the chat, who has never listened to a single word that I said, just hears what he wants to hear. So Skubal isn't a corner piece. He absolutely is. But right now, what Tarik Skubal is I'm trying to think of the perfect analogy. What do you think their record is, the Tigers, when Tarik Skubal doesn't start? And I get it, he's their ace. It's always worse with other teams when their ace isn't pitching. But when Tarik Skubal doesn't start, the Tigers are basically the Los Angeles Angels. No matter what you think of what they've done lately, and that 8-2 run to end the first half was a phenomenal. We all enjoyed it. We all loved it. But without Tarik Skubal, he's not necessarily, he is a cornerstone piece, but he's not like Sewell or Hutch. He's basically what Tarik Skubal is he's a Ferrari in a lot full of Toyota Camrys. And I understand that not everybody is a Toyota Camry. Riley Green obviously is not, but he is the best thing you have on a team that probably still won't make the playoffs, no matter what we think about them.
And that's the caveat, is that you contrasted it with the Lions' window right now.
Yes.
They're winning.
Yes.
They're Super Bowl contenders. Whereas with Tarik Skubal, he's a piece that, honestly, if you get the right haul, can bring you closer to playoff contention and long-term success.
But if you don't get that haul, you hang up and you kindly and gladly keep Tarik Skubal.
Exactly.
But it has to be an absolute king's ransom.
Yeah, and nobody wants to trade Skubal. But if they did make a deal like this, then maybe that's less money than your owner has to spend as well. We all know Chris Illich, he's real tight with the pocketbook. But if you can get a haul like this that will jumpstart your team starting next season, you got a whole bunch of MLB ready talents to come up. That's less money they have to spend in the offseason to make an impact. So I'm just saying.
I wish Woodward Sports had the confidence to support the Tigers the way they do the Wings Pistons line. Come on,
my
dude.
God.
Come on, Kruger. Get that shit out of here.
You're
Get that
at
out
the
of here.
games. We're doing fan content. We're doing all this.
I'm trying to tell you
Stop
the ways
brother.
that here are the outlets for the Tigers to actually be good.
Yeah.
Because
faster.
Keeping Skubal and operating like they are now, yes, it's 4 years till we should even be talking like legit contenders. We're waiting for Max Clark to get to the bigs. 2, 3, 4 years. If you're cool with waiting, doesn't seem like anyone's freaking patient. You bring up the P word and everyone freaks out.
Exactly.
So bringing Skubal back means getting patient.
word.
It means getting patient.
Right.
A historic trade, speeds up this rebuild. I don't
Exactly.
think people realize how close
Big
we
bad
are
energy
to
for
the
Broder.
start of the rebuild
Yeah.
versus the end. We're way closer to the start than the end. This speeds it up, especially that Orioles trade.
People should compare this to like the Matt Stafford deal. Like you see how the Matt Stafford deal jump started this Lions offense this Lions team into what they are now.
Even though it was a
could be
gut
similar.
punch. Even though as fans, it was a gut punch.
Yeah.
We know how we felt when that trade went down.
It could be similar though.
That's interesting because at least on a systemic level, and I know the Lions had a lot of talented players during Matthew Stafford's tenure. I'm not going to call Stafford a Ferrari, but he was another one. During his tenure with the Lions, he was, over the course of those 12 years, either the best or damn near the best thing that you had, but this organization was just full of rot. He was like, we all know that. We all know until Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell got here that that's what it was. So it's kind of the same thing where Matthew Stafford, he wasn't going to be the solution to cure the ails of this team. I'm not saying it was his fault. It's just what they were able to get for him. Look what it's turned out to be.
Yeah, but that's perfect. It wasn't his fault for them to be successful with Stafford before he got too old or ended the prime of his career. That front office, which nobody trusted, was going to have to go out and completely reshape this to speed it up to match the timeline with Stafford's contract, his age, everything. It's a really interesting comparison to make. Obviously not perfect, but how it jump starts and kind of reshapes your organizational strategy.
Maybe we can, if this is considered the dark side, maybe we can talk about the light.
Yeah.
What does it look like if you do sign Terry Skubal? What's that plan? What's the free agency outlook? Because you said, you know what? If you do sign him, you can't wait. And maybe we don't discuss that today. Maybe it's a whole nother segment or a couple different segments.
Yeah, that's a great question. Let's put a bow on it for today, but that's a great question, whether we revisit it tomorrow or next week. Depending on how some teams play coming out of this All-Star break, this will be a topic that will be hit on next week and the week after. Tuesday the 20th is the trade deadline at 6 p.m.
Ooh.
So it's coming. Ooh. It's coming. But I think we should transition over to the Lions. They got training camp in 2 days.
Yes, sir.
I want to ask you guys about some of their second-year players, who's more important, and what I think is a snubbing by the coaches and executives and scouts in the NFL. There are 2 players that weren't on a list of theirs that I'm confused. I'm very confused. So we'll talk about it when we come back. Until then,
let's talk about the best.
The best.
We got to talk about the best. Broder, the Lions are the best, man, and we're about to talk about them. And I can tell you about someone else's best. That is Premier Pet Supplies, hands down Michigan's best pet store. Same prices and all the conveniences of the online and big box retailers, with one major difference. They've been family and locally owned for over 30 plus years. They carry over 60 brands of food, and they have nutrition experts to help you. Same day, local curbside and home delivery. Premier Pet Supply. Give your pet the best and visit them online, premierpetsupply.com.
So just to get the heated steering wheel, I also had to spring for the bigger rims.
Yeah, that's how they get you. Those upgrades will cost you an arm and a leg every time.
Hey, new car crew, how'd it go this weekend? I got a great deal on mine.
How?
I went to Randy Wise, not those other guys. They got me in a great new ride, and they didn't break my budget. Hey, could you pass me the sugar?
How?
Never mind.
He made the wise choice.
Yep.
Make the wise choice at RandyWiseBuickGMC.com.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola, really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supplies has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets?
Nobody! Let Guardian Alarm offer you customized solutions from real experts. Our professional technicians, they take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. It's 24/7 professional monitoring, so you can call us anytime, day or night, and know that a Guardian team member will stay on the phone with you as long as needed, because it is technology that is backed by people, and your safety and security deserves technology that's been proven to work and people who've been proven to care. All you got to do is call this number right here, 1-800-STAY-OUT. Once again, that number is 1-800-STAY-OUT.
Oh my God.
FAB.
Nasty ass.
What up, What up, dog people? Welcome back to Wake Up Woodward. Appreciate you guys for choosing to kick off today with the Woo Crew. Shout out to that dude, Justin. Hey, brother, we love you. We appreciate you, man, and hope everything is going good, man.
Yes.
Hey, you know what? Everybody, love on your family. Definitely pay attention to the ones that matter to you guys. Put that energy and that focus into them, and let that be what kind of drives everything you do. But shout out to the rest of the Woo Crew in the building. We got KG in the sound booth, Detroit's #1 draft pick, Woodward Sports MVP, JB Smooth in the TD booth. Got our credentialed Tigers and Lions reporter, Matt Broder, up here on the desk. Flannel Sam, the vet of the squad, and your boy Brendan Dent, a.k.a. Detroit Kool-Aid. And shout out to Byrne for the super chat. $5 super chat. He said, you people He made sure to point at you guys, chat. He made sure to say chat.
That's in the real tone. I love it.
It's in all caps, too. Right. You people, chat. Wanted to trade Cade Cunningham for picks and pieces, but they won't trade Scoobs?
They did.
Come on, man.
I've never seen
These are facts.
I'm not a part of any camp that ever said trade Cade Cunningham.
Yep.
I don't know about you guys.
Me
Anybody? Anybody on this show?
No, nobody on the show did.
Herb, I love you, man. That never came out of our mouth.
And the person that I thought would have made the case actually made the perfect case to keep him, and that was Flannel Sam.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know what the perfect, like, and Mark Royal actually asked me in the chat, like, what would it be like in basketball? Or he compared it to the Cade trade. Like, is it similar to the Phoenix trade for Kevin Durant? I'm forgetting all the pieces, but it was kind of a haul, some young players, a bunch of prospects, or the Knicks trading for Mikal Bridges, you know. Ooh. It's not the perfect like for like, but one-to-one. You get one or two, you know, young players plus 4 or 5 first-round draft picks to just help speed up the rebuild. I know it's hard with basketball with no minor leagues and 5 players on the court.
Yeah, hey, I think back to the Grant Hill thing. It's not the same because I don't think that the Pistons got a haul. We know how that turned out for them because Ben Wallace wound up becoming something that none of us at that time, nobody that was alive during that time, thought he would become. And so it's like, you know what, I see how that did jumpstart things. We didn't know where Grant Hill's career was going to go from there. Everyone still believed he was that same superstar caliber player. Yeah. And you know what? He was going to get healthy and come back. But they did make the decision to move on, and we know how that kind of underlaid. And Stackhouse. They traded Jerry Stackhouse. Up to that point, he was one of probably their most prolific, one of their most prolific scorers in franchise history and set the franchise single game scoring record. We know those 2 trades helped to underlay what wound up becoming a championship winning foundation.
100%. Hey, even I'll admit that about Ben Wallace. He was important to the Pistons championship team. And a Grant Hill trade did I don't know. I've never said that before, right? Yes, he was. But we were talking about, and we can touch on this briefly, and we can get into more detail of it as the season goes along and as the off season comes into fruition once the World Series is over. But yeah, obviously there is a pathway to the Tigers keeping Skubal, paying him, and essentially continuing to build around him and creating the type of team where Skubal can be the ace of a playoff team and the ace of a team that hopefully someday makes it to the World Series. And I think if that's your pathway, obviously you've got Riley Green, we like Colt Keith, but I wonder if the people who are dead set on absolutely no Tarek Skubal trade, I would ask the question of, how do you feel about a guy like Justin Henry Malloy? How do you feel about Parker Meadows? How do you feel about Spencer Torkelson ever regaining his form? Mm-hmm. How do you feel about the Illiches and Scott Harris getting the right free agents? And I'll tell you what, there are a couple of guys that I think would help this team around Tarek Skubal that I think are more Moneyball type signings that the Tigers could do without breaking the bank. And of course, one of them is Tommy Pham, who I want them to get at the trade deadline, but who knows if that's going to happen. But the prize, if you want to build around Skubal, if you want to pay Skubal and you want to build around him and you want to get a veteran that costs way less than what he's worth, do you know who the prize of free agency should be for the Detroit Tigers?
Let's hear it.
Rooker?
Jesse Winker.
Oh, yeah, you've been on this
Jesse Winker.
I like it.
You've been on this train.
Of the Washington Nationals, a career 370 on base percentage. 370.
Yeah.
And he cost $1.5 million this year. You could give him 5, and that's choke on and making Jesse Winker choke on a contract. So yes, my point is there is a pathway to
front office flannel.
Yeah. There we go. A little continuation. There is a pathway to the Tigers being able to keep Tarek Skubal, pay him, and build the type of team around him that is competitive and is able to win, because I think they're closer than some. It's just a lot of it depends on not necessarily the Colt Keiths and the Riley Greens, because we're pretty bullish on them, especially Riley Green, but some of the lower level prospects and maybe getting some luck with some less expensive ones, because I don't think Chris Illich is going to go out and get like a Juan Soto, for example.
Oh, no.
I can't wait to kind of deep dive more on this topic, because when you just think about it, we were talking about it during break, $400 million plus contract for Tarek Skubal. And then if you want to accelerate this thing, you got to go out there and buy the bats.
Yeah.
And so to know that there are some value pieces that could help this thing and be able to offset the types of spending that we know Chris Ilitch and this Tigers team and during this era does versus what we think they should do. I can't wait to see like what the actual options are, because right now it seems like it's going to be expensive.
And I'll tell you what, before I get to Broder, John effing Lord, here we go again. Flannel believing he is in Moneyball. Jesse Winker has a higher on base percentage than Riley Green. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. And this isn't about, oh my God, Flannel said that Jesse Winker is better than Riley Green. No.
I was saying you love Riley Green.
I love Riley Green. But those are the type of moves, if you're not willing to spend for the Sotos or the Pete Alonsos or the Alex Bregmans, which I don't even know if I do for those two, by the way, you've got to find diamonds in the rough like those guys. Jesse Winker on this lineup, if you put him in this lineup right now, they're going on a run. I just don't think the Nationals would be willing to make that trade right now because they're not out of it. That's the reason I went to Tommy Pham. But if you put Tommy Pham and Jesse Winker on this lineup costing a combined less than $10 million for next year,
yeah,
that's what you got to do.
And when you said Pete Alonso and
Alex Bregman
and Juan Soto, you said two people. You don't know if you do it for those two.
Alonso
and Bregman. Soto, you're bringing him home. You're opening up any checkbook possible to bring that man home.
Juan Soto is going to go down as a top 5 hitter who ever lived. I'm bullish on that.
Yeah.
He's the modern day Ted Williams. He's a man who walks more than he strikes out in this era. Mm-hmm. That never happens. Juan Soto does it. I would give a limb for Juan Soto.
Yeah.
An absolute limb, and I would pay anything.
Last point I'll say on this, because people are taking shots at your Moneyball brain.
Yes.
We got to be realistic who our president of baseball operations is.
Yeah.
He's closer to operating like Moneyball than he is to operating like Dave Dombrowski or George Steinbrenner Sr. He's more building that way than he is going and buybacks. So we have to consider that. Like, that's how he operates. More like Moneyball, less like Dombrowski.
Trying to bring realistic options, because a lot of times we can just say something, but who's actually out there able to say, you know what, but here's the solution. That's one thing that I do stand by with Stick, and that's one thing that I like about you. Stick always says, look, if you're going to say something, you know what is your plan to fix this thing? Rod Beer says the same thing, and then that's why I like the fact that if you're going to say something, you guys are always bringing what the solutions should be with the realistic outlook on what the organizations are doing. We know what Chris Ilitch and his front office is going to do. Yep. We already. That's why you're bringing a Scott Harrison to Greenberg in the first place. We know what those guys do as it relates to building a team.
Absolutely. And before we before we go to break and talk about the Detroit Lions, John McAroon with, I think, the our friend John McAroon, friend of the show. When you need to tinker, go get Winker. Guys. Look at the All-Star Game roster, and look how many of those guys have career on-base percentages of 370. You're not going to see very many.
A lot.
Yeah.
Jesse Winker has a particular set of skills, and he cost $1.5 million this year. He is the best bargain in baseball right now for what he's bringing to the Washington Nationals this season. They might go to the playoffs, and Jesse Winker is going to be maybe the biggest offensive hero, at least the most unsung.
Let's rock. Hey, getting into the Lions next segment?
Absolutely.
Detroit Lions are on the way. Can't wait to talk about it. Training camp is right around the corner. A couple days away, Broder?
Saturday.
2 days. Let's go.
Man.
That's awesome. I can tell you about something else that's awesome as well. It's when a guy can be a guy and get an amazing haircut. That is Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Just stop in, sit back, and relax. Let one of Lady Jane's talented hairstylists make you look and feel great. Walk in anytime, 7 days a week. Lady Jane's. It's wicked awesome.
So just to get the heated steering wheel, I also had the spring for the bigger rims.
Yeah, that's how they get you. Those upgrades will cost you an arm and a leg every time.
Hey, new car crew, how'd it go this weekend? I got a great deal on mine.
How?
I went to Randy Wise, not those other guys. They got me in a great new ride, and they didn't break my budget. Hey, could you pass me the sugar?
How? Never mind.
He made the wise choice.
Yep.
Make the wise choice at randywisebuickgmc.com.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week, walk-ins are always welcome. there's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports. You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
Attention sports fans, don't miss out on expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. Join Dr. Pierce every Tuesday on Big D Energy, every Thursday on Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, where he offers top-notch injury advice. Trust the guy that DMAC trusts. Dr. Jeff Pierce is here to keep you in the game and performing at your best. For more information, visit MichiganSportsandSpine.com or call 248-426-9944. And what up, though, people? Welcome back to Wake Up Woodward. And now we got the entire team here, man. The starting 5, 6-man, and coach. What up, though, that dude, Justin? Hey, man, it's good to have you here, brother, and hoping everything is well and blessed. But we were talking about one of these jungle cats, but now we got to get into the king of the jungle, the king of the NFC North. I'm going to just say it, the king of the NFC. The Detroit Lions. Man. The Detroit Lions training camp 2 days away. I saw people trying to sign up for their tickets to get in the training camp.
Man,
sitting in lines as long as 10,000.
Hold on real quick. So the other day, JB hops in the line early, right? When he hopped in line, there were 60 people in front of him.
60?
Yes. And I go behind him maybe like a half hour later. 7,000 people. 7,700.
Sickos, let's go.
Couldn't even get a ticket. Everything was sold out, man. Crazy.
That's crazy.
Crazy.
Super Bowl window is open, and Detroit is not going to disappoint. Woo! Man, Lions are right around the corner. Broder, we got to talk about this, man. You got your two on the.
You can open this.
I got you. Yeah, we got your two. Brian Branch, Sam LaPorta, man, and we got to talk about who's more important to this team in their second year, while the Detroit Lions are already saying, look, we're going to the Super Bowl.
I think I'm going to go with Branch on this one just because with all of the turnover in the secondary, we all believe that the secondary is going to be better. We love a lot of the additions that were made. We like guys that are returning like Branch, Iffy, and Kirby Joseph. But you got a couple rookies in the room. You've got a guy in Carlton Davis who has had some injury issues and wasn't quite at his best last season, although he was still good in man coverage. A guy like Brian Branch is somebody who was your best secondary member last year, who is your anchor, who can play slot, who can play safety, a guy who, whether or not Terrion Arnold is ready, you can put a Meek at slot and Brian Branch at the safety, or you could have Brian Branch play at slot nickel again. He's that guy, and he is going to be, I think, the cornerstone piece of the secondary for years to come, even above a guy like Terrion Arnold.
Man, and you know what? And I agree with a lot of what you're saying, but when I think about this offense and the expectations that they're putting on players like Jameson Williams, like DPJ, to have realistically breakout seasons or bounce back year in DPJ's case, that's where I start to think about how important Sam LaPorta is to this offense, just in general. Whether it's blocking, obviously it's about the pass catching with him, and being one of those guys that realistically has seemed unguardable. Even when they got coverages draped all over him, I'm wondering how important Sam LaPorta is to this offense when realistically he and Amon-Ra are our surefire pass catchers, and everybody else, or people we're hoping can kind of meet some expectation.
Yeah, and I'm seeing a lot of Sam LaPorta in the chat. And I did say, and that's 100% fair, because I said it was either yesterday or the day before that given how great his rookie season is, if he doesn't even take a leap, if he just stays what he is and has some longevity, he's a Hall of Fame tight end.
Yeah.
So if you can have that for the next 6, 7, 8 years, and especially next season, that's a luxury that very few teams have had. You got to look at the current Chiefs or maybe the current 49ers as teams that win big with those Hall of Fame type tight ends. And of course, you look at the Broncos of old with Shannon Sharp, but you understand what I mean. It's a luxury that I don't even think Brad Holmes knew what he was getting when they drafted him in the second round. Hey, our old buddy Lucas Klotz did. I was going to give you a shout out for that because he had the foresight that nobody else had on that one.
No. And you know what? But with Brian Branch, a guy who can be and we've seen him all over the field. He's gotten into the backfield. He's sacked the quarterback. He's stopped the running backs. He's stepped up at the line. He's defended. He stepped up and defended wide receivers off the line and such, and then obviously back in coverage what he does. Man, if he takes that step, how much better are the Detroit Lions? And that's where I definitely get your point, man. That's a good question, Broder, that you post.
Yeah, it's tough. They're both important to this team. As important, maybe as anyone on both sides of the ball. And I've been leaning towards Brian Branch because I think, for all the reasons Flannel just said, but I am going to go with LaPorta because Josh Reynolds is no longer here. And that's what that's how I'm going to frame it. I think that comfortability, that stability that Jared Goff had, that trust he had in Josh Reynolds to be that first down chain mover, to be that reliable pass catcher in a pinch. He's got to look up and find a receiver. And no, not the 49ers game. Every other game throughout the season, Josh Reynolds was that dude. And I think that's the type of role that's not to say that's the limit of LaPorta's game, but he can be that safety net, that safety blanket, security blanket for Jared Goff. Maybe get a couple more receptions per game this year in that type of role on top of all the stuff, all the other ways he's going to impact the offense. So I think Branch has a decent amount of help on the defensive end. They all need to step up, but for the sake of this offense staying at a top 3 level, I think he's as important as anyone on the offense.
And the funny thing is, the more that you mention LaPorta, I'm not saying that I'm 100% changing my mind, but winning big with a Hall of Fame tight end, I completely forgot about Rob Gronkowski. So when you add Rob Gronkowski to the mix, when you have Travis Kelce, when you add those Broncos teams with Shannon Sharp, and even those 49ers teams that are getting to the Super Bowl with George Kittle, a Hall of Fame type of tight end is becoming a very essential piece.
Almost like a prerequisite.
Yeah.
Almost. I mean, there's other prerequisites on those teams, but those are some of the biggest pieces on those respective Super Bowl winning and Super Bowl appearing teams.
And didn't Tyler Higbee or didn't the Rams tight end have a decent game or made a big catch in the Super Bowl?
He's good. Yeah,
he's good. Yeah. Anyways, KG.
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
I mean, there's no wrong answer here to me, man. When you have somebody like Sam LaPorta, the ultimate security blanket, I mean, he does it all, man. He takes so much pressure off of the receivers, J-Mo, Amon-Ra, including what he does in the run game and things of that nature. But when you have just a safety like Brian Branch, think back to that Kansas City game last year. He is the reason we won that game last year.
You know what?
He made an instant impact on the field,
Game
man.
one.
And for a defense that's still trying to find itself, we did add a lot of pieces, but for a defense that's still trying to find itself, I really like what he brings to the table in terms of like how he plays his position and the versatility to play him in other areas.
You know what? That's a great point, KG. That's a great point. I remember watching that first game, and we all know how we felt about Brian Branch. And not just that game either. There were a couple other games kind of early in the season where we were absolutely like, yo, Brian Branch is a stud. And not just because he was making plays, but because he was all over the field. And he was one of those players that was just like, I remember after the Falcons game, and they asked him, like, yo, what were you feeling after that Bijan Robinson hit? He was like, I wanted him to know I'm not afraid of contact.
Damn right. Yep.
Man, his heart is pumping, bro, when he's out there in the field, and he's going full-fledged.
And he just got better and better as the year went on. Remember the Rams playoff game? Yeah. We didn't hear Cooper Kupp's name once, really, because he shut Cooper Kupp completely down.
That is such a great point.
He's spitting right now.
I'm just trying to tell you, man. So if he can take that next step at that nickel corner or safety position, this Lions defense is in a lot better position, man.
And you can put them all over the field. That's the thing. It's like the versatility, and not just versatility. You hear about players he can play this position in a pinch. You're talking about Brian Branch, who's just good anywhere he is.
You put him in any position on defense except for the defensive line. Like, he could play linebacker if you need him to.
You could. Yeah, 100%.
I saw Eric Allen as well. He put Jack Campbell, ?
Yeah. Well, that's why we limit these conversations to put some boundaries, to put some bumpers on it. Otherwise, we'd be having the same exact conversation every day.
And with all due respect to Jack Campbell, I mean, Brian Branch and Sam LaPorta. I mean, Sam LaPorta was second-team All-Pro as a rookie. Brian Branch is somebody who you could see fighting for an All-Pro spot this year.
Yes, sir.
Jack Campbell is somebody who had to adjust, and he had some good moments, but out of all of the 4 top 2-round picks for the Lions, he was the weak link. But hey, maybe as his career goes on, he matures and doesn't become that anymore.
And you're right. It's like with Brian Branch, Sam LaPorta, these are guys that were like, listen, these guys are taking all-pro type leaps and having all-pro effects on the Detroit Lions with Jack Campbell. I'm like, bro, can we just wrestle away the green dot from Anzalone?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, was it the Shaquille Oatmeal? Or somebody said it, I am torn. I have both jerseys. Oh, that was Shano. I'm torn. I have both jerseys.
There's no wrong answer.
How do you not?
Really.
Right?
Those are two great jerseys to have in your closet.
But KG, you were spitting. Honestly, everybody's really been spitting facts. It's tough, but the more and more I hear the Brian Branch side, the more and more I'm just like, wow.
Yeah. This defense needs the most help.
What up, though, brother?
I didn't even. Maybe one of you guys said it. The fact that these two are both second-round picks. That's insanity, and I'm just going to leave that there. Like, good grief.
That curse of the second-round picks is done. Over with.
Hey, do you know, I'll tell you what, though, when we're talking about second-round picks, do you know what else would be a second-round pick steal?
What?
Swiss Insurance.
Hey! Hey, you know what? Hey, go an elite transition. Now more than ever, it is critical for you to have your insurance reviewed. Swiss Insurance to make sure your carrier is not slipping in any extra fees.
Take that.
Call Mark at Swiss Insurance today. That number 313-530-1698.
Thought I told you that we won't stop.
Online, SwissINS.com, and let them know Woodward Sports sent you.
At Planet Fitness, you can get everything you need for just $1 down.
Try out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Hey, y'all better get on these free fitness training sessions from Planet Fitness.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home? Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
Join Planet Fitness today and get everything you need for just $1 down. $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, July 18th.
Congratulations to the real Coach of the Year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Somebody say merch? Hey, head over to woodwardsports.com. Click on that shop tab. We are dropping new designs every single week. But let me tell you about the ones we got up here. Training camp starts this weekend. You can go to opening training camp and show off your Woodward Sports merch with that hashtag BooDemKids right now.
Show them
and
that
we
you're
also
stoked,
got
not scared.
these stoked, not scared shirts as well too. And you know what? All this trade talk about Skubal, I know you're going to be a little upset. So why not ease your pain and get some Woodward Sports Tigers gear as well too, to show it off.
Do it.
Head over to woodwardsports.com, click on that shop tab, get swagged out.
Get swagged out. What up, though, people? Welcome back to Wake Up Woodward. Thank you guys for kicking off today with the Woo Crew. Going ahead and hit that like button. But we got to get into the segment that debuted this week. KG, you guys already know, he's always dropping fire segments. And I like this concept as well, man.
Yeah.
Prove KG wrong.
You can't do it.
Let's go.
You can't do it, man. But
get ready, chat.
Before we get started, Randall Smalls, I saw your apology and I accept your apology. You know, I come with fire segments all the time. But go ahead.
And just really quickly before you jump this off, more important, year 2, the chat family overwhelmingly Brian Branch 73%, Sam LaPorta 27%. I think that the cases that were stated on behalf of Branch really swayed things.
Yes. So the name of the game is Prove Me Wrong or Prove KG Wrong. It is me versus the Woo Crew. I am going to make a series of bold statements, predictions, and claims, and I won't give any explanation behind them. It's your job to prove me wrong. If everyone agrees with said statement, then I get a point for the round automatically. If anybody on the crew disagrees, then we have to go to a chat poll, and they will decide who wins the round after you state your case. Pretty simple, right? And we got 7 rounds total in order to decide a winner. So are we ready, ladies
we got a
and gentlemen?
7-game series.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So with that being said, round 1. Kay Cunningham will become a first-time All-Star this season. Prove me wrong.
I don't want to prove you wrong because you're right.
Yeah, I hope you're right. You know what? I think the Pistons did give them what they need.
Yeah.
But I you know what? Hey, let's rock.
So is everybody
I'll take a swing.
Everybody in agreement. Going
I'll
once.
take a swing on no.
Yeah,
All right. Before you get into it, JP, start the chat poll.
I got you.
We have a disagreement. Go ahead, state your case.
And so explain. So he's pitching to the chat. Hey, chat.
Yeah.
Hear my sales pitch of why I don't think Cade Cunningham's going to be a first-year All-Star.
Exactly.
All right,
then they will decide who wins the round.
And it comes from not necessarily anything that has to do with Cade. It's about how elite the guards are in the Eastern Conference. You have guys like Jason Tatum, who counted in a shooting guard in this All-Star game. You had Jaylen Brown. You have Donovan Mitchell. You have Trae Young. You have Tyrese Halliburton. That's already 5. There's only 6 guard spots in the All-Star game.
Yeah.
Flannel, do you have 2 other guards in the East or Kool-Aid that you could help me out with this argument? Because we are a team
Halliburton?
here. I already said Halliburton.
Oh, you did?
I don't know if those guards.
Jimmy Butler.
When you look at the stats, it's another reason why I believe if he's going to miss, that he's going to miss. And it's not necessarily because of the competition amongst the guards, because for me personally, I like Cade a little bit better than Trae Young. That's just me personally.
I do too, but
it's
have
the team success.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was about to say. The team success. He has to pay that Pistons tax. He also has to have those eye-popping stats that Trae Young has had. And I was actually looking at him yesterday. Trae Young had 5 more points per game, 2 or 3 more assists. And like people who just look at stats. Just kidding. Just aren't going to be able to value Cade as much as we value him as Pistons fans. And for that reason, I think that they're going to snub him again this year. Unless he does bring up the points per game to over 28 points per game. And it's 3 point per game leap, which I think that he's bullish enough to think that that's going to happen.
I don't think he's getting 28 a game. And I love Cade Cunningham, but
yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're wrong, but at the same time, I will say this, and it pains me to do this, and you kind of alluded to it, but I know you're not saying it quite yet. I like Cade Cunningham as a player and what he projects to be much more than... I'm not a big fan of Trae Young's game. However, Trae Young is still somebody that Cade Cunningham has to leapfrog, because when you look at the numbers, when you look at the fact that he did have an appearance in the Eastern Conference Finals in 2021, he's a good player.
Yeah.
And Cade Cunningham still needs to pass him. So I understand, but I still think that it'll be Cade.
Thank you to my boy Chase Amley, who always hooks me up when I need him. What about Jalen Brunson?
Fair.
What about Garland? And what about Tyrese Maxey? All guys that he's going to have to leapfrog in the...
But that's the thing. Talent-wise, I just... when you look at what Cade Cunningham has been, and something that people... I'm not going to take away from his rebounding, the defense, and things of that nature, because Trae Young, we know we can do offensively, but I'm sorry, he's barbecue chicken on the defensive side of the floor, and I value that.
Yeah.
I value the playmaker, the level of playmaker, not just assist guy, but the level of playmaker that Cade Cunningham is, and all the stats he's getting is with a worse team than Trae Young has had with him. You put Cade Cunningham on that Hawks team that Trae Young had, I believe that you're looking at something a little bit more mean, a little bit more nasty, and you got a guy who can defend the 1 through the 3 as your point guard. I don't know.
I agree with you.
He just needs
but I just think that him making the All-Star team this year is going to be extremely difficult. Oh, and Damian Lillard as well. So, like, that's 8 guards that are competing for 6 spots, not including Cade. That would be 9. And I just don't think that that he's going to have a better statistical season, because that's what All-Star voters look at, than 6 of those guys. And I think he's going to be just out.
That's fair.
All right.
That's a fair point.
Well, you've made a good argument, JB. You can close the poll and announce the winner for this round.
Closing the poll right now. Your winner for round 1 is KG with 57%.
Yeah!
Hey.
Although KG was close.
1-0 on the board, baby. Let's go. Number 2, or round 2, should I say. The Michigan Wolverines will finish the regular season 10-2. Prove me wrong. You can't do it.
You know what, man?
I know Sam don't disagree. I already knew I had Sam in my pocket.
Dog,
I already knew it.
Sharon Moore is just, he's excited me. Seeing what's happened since this guy has kind of just started to push the gas pedal. I've asked you several times, are we underestimating what Michigan could be? Everybody's just circling OSU as the team. And I'm like, yo, Michigan is still the national champions. They're bringing back some great players. They got probably 2 or 3 maybe of the top 10, 15 players in college football.
Two of the top 10 for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And that's what I'm saying. It's like, are we underselling and underestimating them, especially seeing that Sharon Moore has been awesome with recruiting and with stocking his coaching staff?
I agree with KG, actually, because I think a 10-2 season, given what they lost, given the questions with offensive line and quarterback, is a massive success. So I agree.
All right, chat, let's go. You and me.
No. So, wait.
Yeah.
You arguing it?
Yeah, forget 10-2.
Wow.
Yeah, they're going to win 11-1.
Oh, you're thinking better. I thought 10-2 was good. I thought people were penciling in for 3 losses.
I think people are drastically under.
JB
set the poll up.
It's up there.
All right.
Okay.
Damn.
They're going to lose one game out of Texas, Oregon, and Ohio State. They're going to lose one of those 3 games, and it's not going to be the Ohio State game. So they're going to go 11-1.
Damn.
Yeah.
And that's more than 10-2. That's it. I think people are their defense is going to be stout. It's going to be as good as last year. I'm hesitant to say better than last year. We'll have that conversation at some point. They're going to be as good as last year. It all comes down to if the best offensive line coach in college football can coach up a new offensive line and coach up a new quarterback to what the haters say, hand the ball off 29 times in a row. So not worried about that. 11-1.
I didn't even think about that.
I like the confidence, Broder.
Thank you.
I like
Chat,
it.
what do you think?
Yeah, I ain't even think about that angle. JB, you the resident Michigan State fan. You ain't had nothing to say?
No, I got something to say. That's why the chat poll is up and going right now. Now, I'm not going to sit here and disagree with the success that Michigan will have. I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is 10-2 and 11-1. You're kind of pushing it right there. For me, I'm at least saying 8 to 9 wins. Only because of the simple fact that now the Big Ten Conference is expanding. You have all these other teams in here. You don't have the cakewalk of teams that you had the previous year before in East Carolina, your Maryland, your Iowas, teams like that you can just run over. This is a first-year head coach in Sharon Moore now, even though he's proven himself before the previous season. Let's not sit here and think that Jim Harbaugh was not in his back pocket with his cell phone that he could call up at any time. He does not have that option anymore. I'm not saying that there will be a huge drop-off, but at the same time, you lost 20 players to both the transfer portal and the NFL. You got to reload somehow, some way. I do think they will struggle a little bit, but it's not going to be by much. So I'm not downgrading any success. 10-2 is still an option, but for me, I think it's 9 wins right there. You'll be comfortably in the college football playoff.
All right.
That's a good Spartan fan. That's having a reasonable conversation. I'll tone down my
Fair enough.
That don't happen often. That don't happen often. But JB, you can go ahead and close that poll and announce the winner for round 2.
Closing the poll right now. Oh, KG, you lost this one, actually.
Let's go.
It is the Woo Crew in the chat with 65%.
That mean both you and me, JB?
I believe so.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right.
Hey, but man. I do wonder which way do people lean? Do you think Michigan's going to be 10-1, or do you think they're going to be on the 9-3 side?
They probably are leaning towards JB's pitch.
Probably.
A better chance that they go 9-3 versus 11-1. I'll admit that.
Well, series tied 1-1. We go into round 3. The Lions will start the season 4-0 heading into the bye week. Prove me wrong.
I'm fired up. Man, let's go 4-0. I was waiting for someone else. I'm like, look, I keep looking at the schedule. I keep hearing what they say the expectation is. Go out there and win the quarter, man.
Yeah.
Go out there and win. That's what Dan Campbell preaches to his team. Win the quarter. Let's try and go undefeated. Let's rock, man. 4-0.
Do we have any disagreements?
Nope.
Going once.
Nope.
Going twice.
All right, hold on. Let me just say something.
Just like
I don't want to be that
WWE.
guy. I really don't.
Hit the poll.
I really don't want to be that guy.
WWE
I really
pin.
don't want to. But
Goodness.
the NFL is so hard, and I think that just gets glossed
Lions
over
are so hard.
so often. And I'm not like I think this Lions team's gonna win the Super Bowl, but like you win the season by increments, and the increments come and go, and you never can be comfortable in the NFL. You can lose to bad teams. Any team can win on any given Sunday. When you go and you play your back-to-back playoff teams to open your season, that's gonna have so much juice to it. And then you have to come home and you have to play the Seahawks and the Seahawks have owned us. Then we have to play we have to go on a road for our first road game, and we have to play the Cardinals. Like, eventually, like, you're not going to be able to play your A game every single week, and you see that in the NFL. And that's where I think that you're going to see a bump in the road at one point in those first 4 games. I don't want to believe it. I don't necessarily see the loss on the schedule, what exact game it will be, but to play 4 consistently great games out of the gate is very difficult to do, especially when you're playing 2 to 3 playoff level teams. Like, it's a tough schedule, and then later in the season, I know we're only talking about that, but like, there's spots on the schedule where there's back-to-back divisional games, and then you play the Texans, or you play back-to-back divisional games, and then you play the Cowboys.
That's
logical. Like, there are losses on the schedule, and I'm just trying to be realistic.
It's realistic and logical, and I get that. And you know what? I give you the kudos for that. But what does your heart tell you?
Right.
What does your heart tell you?
Man.
Well, come on,
I
got this right.
Let me just give one quick rebuttal to all of that. What is going to go on later on in the season is irrelevant to this conversation. To me, they have no divisional games in their first 4. 3 out of the 4 are at home, and I get it. The Bucs and the Rams were in the playoffs last year, and the Seahawks are a team that's always going to be a threat, and they've owned the Lions. However, the way I see this season envisioning is that they start the season at the very worst 4-0, and then for the rest of the year, they play maybe 1 to 2 games above 500.
How can you say at the very worst 4-0? Like, there is a possibility we lose a game.
I'm talking about, like, in terms of, I haven't even looked to see if they're going to start 5 or 6-0. That's what I meant. Like, we're talking about just before the bye week. But they've got a lot of tough games coming up. They've got, obviously, their road divisional games. They got Buffalo. They got San Francisco. They've got Houston. Just a ton of tough games. I actually think it's essential for the Lions to take care of their first 3 out of 4 home games and don't lose to the goddamn Cardinals.
Please
don't give people who think that they're going to be good any credence, because the Cardinals are a 5-win football team. Have you seen what they have? Oh, but the draft capital.
I mean, they did add, Byron Murphy and a bunch of good pieces of their defense.
I understand.
They added solid pieces, and it's not going to be a cakewalk going on your first road game all the way out to Arizona. Time change, flights, like, all of that plays a factor in the NFL. Like, the fatigue factor of flying from Detroit to Arizona plays a factor in that game. And honestly, if you would have put a gun to my head right now and tell me, if you lose one of those first 4 games, what game are you losing? It's going to be the Cardinals game.
I know, but Kyler Murray's terrible, right? He's the worst quarterback ever, right?
I've never said that.
I know you haven't, but people do. People act like he's like the same thing.
But there's something that just kind of overtakes some of those nuances to the game that would, a less experienced team or a team with less expectations. But these Detroit Lions, like we saw last year, were walking into other people's arenas and taking them over with a swagger. And you're talking about now a team that knows who they are. Yeah. Not a team that was just going out there and just flying and letting the wind get underneath their sails. I'm talking about a team now that's creating their own breeze. They're going where they fly. That's a completely different level. All of us have played sports. You know how you feel, Justin, when you step out there and oh, I'm the man out here. You know that it doesn't matter if there's even a deficiency, if there's an injury or any of that. You're going out there and that mental is going to drive you to the top. And you got Dan Campbell leading this thing with a bunch of dudes who believe they left one out there on the field last year they should have had. Yeah. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Penei Sewell. When I think about those guys as the leaders of this team and some of the vets that we have in this squad, Aiden Hutchinson as well, I don't know, man. Look, logical, yes, there could be a loss. But just in terms of, is there a case they could go 4-0? I think that there's just as much a logical case they could go 4-0 as well.
And last thing to try to get this 1% over so I could try to beat KG. Shout out Connor Bryce.
Right.
Kyler Murray is also a scrambling quarterback. The Lions have uberly struggled against scrambling quarterbacks, even when it's just Brock Purdy escaping the pocket in the NFC Championship game.
This year,
we have never proven that we can guard a scrambling quarterback. So that is the last thing I'll say.
Glenn got the talent now, though. I got the dog.
I know I won this round because I'm playing on the hearts of the Lions slappies. I know I won this round. JB, close the poll.
It was an uphill battle.
Announce the winner of round 3, please.
I'm closing the poll right now, but it was slightly close.
You did a good job, Justin.
Yeah, but KG, you came away with this one with 53%.
You damn right I did. 2-1 up in the series, baby.
Justin's a great contrarian.
All right, so we're going to round 4. Do we need to stop for breaks at all?
Ask the question and then let's go to break. So the check can let it simmer.
Round 4. Steve Yzerman has done enough to make the Red Wings a playoff team. Prove me wrong.
You know what? And hold it. Hopefully, Mr. Logical here. No, just
you're right. He just want to argue with me. That's fine. That's fine.
Think about it. We'll go to break. Do your reads. Come back. We'll answer that question.
Hey, but before you answer that question, go buy yourself a car from Les Stanford.
Why not?
Do it that quick and then come back and answer the question. What happens when you run up a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more products to more people. This is exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC. The same great service that customers have come to know and trust. On Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile. Check out Les Stanford in Dearborn today at lesstanford.com. Les Stanford Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
At Planet Fitness, you can get everything you need for just $1 down.
Try out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Hey, y'all better get on these free fitness training sessions from Planet Fitness.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home? Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
Join Planet Fitness today and get everything you need for just $1 down. $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, July 18th.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner jumper. Tweet us. Hop on the YouTube chat. Slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Thank you guys for staying tapped in with Wake Up Woodward every day, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. with the entire Woo crew. And after us, I hope you guys are staying plugged in with the rest of Woodward Sports Network, starting with Big D Energy from 11 to 1, 4-time Stanley Cup winner Darren McCarty alongside his co-host, the Golden Voice, Neil Rule. After that, you got Ermanni and Edwards with Maz from 2 to 4, lovable radio legend Tom Mazway with University of Michigan legend Braylon Edwards and former NFL wide receiver, as well as Detroit Media King, Fox 2 Ryan Ermanni. Then end the day with the Woodward Heavyweights from 5 to 7. The big fellas, Spimo Rack, Speakeasy. Shout out to the Elite Booth, Nick Koloff and Chris Platty as well. They're bringing you the biggest interviews, breakdowns, and laughs. Stay tapped in with the Heavyweights. And thank you guys for making Woodward Sports your #1 digital sports network. And we are back, man. Another riveting segment from that dude. You know what? I can't say that dude, KG. Detroit's #1 draft pick, KG. Black Hollywood. Prove KG wrong.
And you can't do it. I promise you can't do it.
That dude, what I meant to say is that dude, Justin, he's trying to prove KG wrong.
He just want to argue with somebody. But it's fine, man. Y'all can't prove
you set
this
him up.
wrong.
You set him up with this one, though.
I did. You know, you catching on. You catching on. But round 4, Steve Yzerman has done enough to make the Red Wings a playoff team. Prove this brother wrong.
Let's argue, Justin.
All right. So first, Denver said in chat, Jesus, if you say the Wings can make the playoffs and say the Lions can't start 4-0, your opinion no longer means shit. Well, you know what I say to that is that they are apples and oranges, brother. Like, why is that even relevant to each other? And then, but I agree with KG. But if you want me to argue why not, because I will.
If you agree, yeah. You agree.
But I keep no. All right, fine. No. I disagree then because
JB.
I'll just
so you know, you're on a team here, and we need to get to 4 points before he does. And what's the score?
Yeah, it's 2-1 right now. In favor of me.
And you'll get a point if we all agree with you, or if they disagree with Justin.
Yeah.
Do we want
to let Justin off the leash and try to get us a point?
Right.
All right.
If you're gonna disagree, your argument better be strong.
There are issues with this roster still.
I was gonna say, I think it's imperative that the Red Wings do make the playoffs. Do I think that Steve Yzerman did enough in the offseason? Absolutely not. And here's why. Here's my problem with Steve Yzerman's offseason.
Okay.
He did not do enough, or the front office
to make
did not
him a playoff team.
Did not do enough to address some defensive deficiencies. I know that Simon Evanson's going to be here the whole year, you think. I know that Albert Johansson is probably going to start the year with the team. But I'm looking on this roster. I still see a Petrie. I still see a Mata. I still see a Hull. I don't see a Wallman. And I don't see a Gostisbehere. I think that when you talk about what Steve Yzerman did or didn't do in free agency, all you ever hear from people is like, oh, so you wanted Steve Stamkos? Oh, so you wanted Brandon Montour? I actually have some ideas. I've got ideas that I've shared on the show before. Why not go get an Alec Martinez for 1 year, $4 million, which is what he signed for with Chicago? Why not go get an Ilya Lyabushkin, who's 30 years old, on like a 3-year, $9.5 million deal? Why not go get an Ian Cole on a 1 year, $3.1 million deal, or somebody like that to help bridge the gap between them and the young guys while Wallander is still in Grand Rapids? Steve Yzerman could have signed one of those guys for very cheap and very affordable. And oh, by the way, and I know everybody wants to absolve Steve Yzerman 100%, the Jacob Trouba deal fell through. It fell through completely. It's not happening. And we were all 100% sure that it was. And when I was talking about moves like Cam Talbot being a big move, I had that in mind with somebody like Trouba coming. But he's not. And Cam Talbot thrived last season when he was on a defense which was much better in the Los Angeles Kings of last year than what the Red Wings have this season. Do I think Cam Talbot's going to be an upgrade? Certainly. But I think that Steve Yzerman could have done more to address the defense in terms of this year.
T-Foss in the building, ladies and gentlemen.
You know what? This thing, it was, the voting is close. It's close. As you were speaking, it actually wound up tied. Now KG's back in the lead.
Well, now I'm going to, because the caveat to this is KG said, did Steve Yzerman do enough to make the playoffs? It doesn't reference the fact of whether they make the playoffs or not. It's did Steve Yzerman do enough? And I'm with Flannel here. Steve Yzerman didn't do enough. This defense still has glaring holes. They're betting on rookie parlays. You don't know who's going to fill out those bottom 3 lines either, or bottom 2 lines either. The bottom 2 lines on the forward lines are shaky still. You don't know whether you're going to have Casper or Bergen there, or you're going to have vets who aren't necessarily up to the par of the 3rd and 4th liners of the elite teams in the East. Also, the East is a bloodbath. Like, there's no way around that. You have 8 to 10 teams that are legitimate playoff contenders and are about this close to each other. Like, you could easily miss the playoffs if something doesn't go right. If we don't make a move at the deadline, I would be worried that we're going to have a fall apart like we did at the end of last season. There's no doubt in my mind.
And that's fair. And I want to address something in the chat really quick before we close the poll, because I want to clarify something. Chase Amley, people need to stop trashing Oli Mata. He's not as bad as people make him out to be. And to this, I will say, of course, he's not as bad as Petrie. He's not as bad as Hull. But the way that it's looking right now, I'm not so sure that I want an Edvinsson-Mata pairing on the second line. Or if not that, an Edvinsson-Petrie pairing. So given my issue with this whole offseason is that the bad signings that Steve Yzerman made, they're still there. They're all still there. Andrew Kopp is still there. Justin Hull is still there. Oli Mata is still here. Jeff Petrie is still there. Ville Husso is still there. But a lot of the good ones that he made, like David Perron walked, Shane Gostisbehere walked. You got rid of Jake Wallman, guys like that. And that's what concerns me, is that Oli Mata should not be a top, the second line pairing on defensively. And if he's the third pairing with like a Johansson, I'm a little worried. He should be buried. He can get minutes, but he should be buried. And Petrie and Hull should be shot to space. But obviously we know that's not possible.
Y'all should have just agreed with me, man. I hope your argument was strong enough. I agree. I hope it was. But JB, close that poll. Announce the winner, please.
Well, their argument was not strong enough, and KG has won this round 55% to 44.
3-1 lead, ladies and gentlemen.
They kept it objectionable, man. They made some great cases. Yeah, I get it. I do believe that they will make the playoffs. They were just a hair away, but
it's the risk you run by not agreeing with me, man. So I'm just saying, man, you got burnt. But y'all still have a chance to make up going into round 5. Tarek Skubal will not get traded at the deadline, and the Tigers extend him this offseason. Prove me wrong.
Broder?
I'll disagree.
Ooh.
I don't think they trade him. I don't think they extend him, though.
Agree.
To extend him before he hits free agency, you're going to have to make him at minimum, and he might not even take this. 6 years, $300 million. You give him $50 million a year, making the highest paid pitcher in baseball. You do it to avoid arbitration years. He gets paid now. He gets to lock in his life changing now, and in 6 years at age 33, he could hit the free agent market again. So it's, do you wait Tarik Skubal and Scott Boras 2 years to go get $400 million plus, or can we convince you sign 6 years, $300 million right now to lock you in for till you're 33? I don't think either happens.
Bro, I think you turn that into a steal and a transition layup for the Woo Crew. That nuance about not necessarily an extension, but letting him go to free agency, that's got to be a point for the Woo Crew, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree with with Broder 100%. They're not going to trade him, but they're not going to extend him. I don't think personally that the Red Sox or the Orioles will give Scott Harris and the Tigers the deals that we were proposing, which is why I think at least till the end of this year and maybe even until his contract runs out, that Tarik Skubal is going to be a member of the Detroit Tigers, which that's another discussion, because if he's a UFA, you got to figure out something, especially if the Tigers aren't up to winning. But yeah, I think they won't trade him, but they won't extend him either.
All right.
Hey, I just saw the chat. It just exploded in one direction. Pause.
Give it to me. Give it to me.
Woo Crew in the
JB closed the poll and announced the winner of round 5.
In a commanding win, Woo Crew was 65% over KG.
Let's go, Team.
It's getting tight.
Hey, good job, bro.
I got you, boys. Let's go.
Yep.
No, that was a team
tight.
effort.
Let's rock.
It's getting tight. 3-2 lead. KG going into round 6. Brian Branch will play the majority of his snaps at the nickel cornerback position spot this season. Prove me wrong.
Sam is ready. Go, bro.
Okay, and I respect the hell out of what Brian Branch did as a nickel last year. In a perfect world, you'd think you want to keep that going. A season in which he allowed a better passer rating or a lesser passer rating allowed than Teron Johnson and Trent McDuffie from the slot. However, if we're talking about Brian Branch being a nickel for the majority of his snaps, we're probably talking about Terrion Arnold not starting for most of the season. I think the way that it's going to eventually work out is that it's Carlton Davis, Terrion Arnold, and then Amik Robertson, and then the safety rotation of Kirby, Iffy, and Brian Branch. With Brian Branch occasionally getting snaps at nickel, he should be on the field every single play that he can be, but I think the majority of Brian Branch's snaps this season will come from the safety position, probably the box safety, like a strong safety.
This is why we need that B-roll footage you were talking about, because that was Flannel from 3.
Yeah.
Behind the arc.
Okay.
Come on, chat. Hey, that was a great one from Flannel. We need your vote.
Let's go.
We need your vote. He's so versatile. Like, he can play nickel, but who knows? Maybe a cornerback goes down. He's got to fill in there. Maybe Kirby or Iffy go down. He's got to play safety. I don't know if the majority is going to be at nickel. So vote Woo Crew in chat.
It's just the ultimate secondary weapon.
Yes.
All right. Y'all done with your arguments? You ready to close the poll?
Oh, yeah.
Let's go.
Bring us that game 7, baby. Bring us that game 7. Let's go.
Behind the arc.
Close the poll and announce the winner of round 6.
Clutch, Flannel.
Well, this game is tied up, fellas.
Clutch.
Woo Crew
Let's
is
go.
on top of that one with 60% of the win. So, KG, what's that 7th question?
It's okay. I planned for this to happen. I wanted this to happen. Because if you notice in the group chat, I did not drop question 7 for this game, and that was for a reason.
Great job with this.
7th and final round. Spencer Torkelson will not make it back to the Tigers' major league roster. Prove me wrong.
I'll take a stab at this one. September call-ups. It's as simple as September call-ups. He's a guy who, and I know that people, and I know you can expand the major league roster to 40 players instead of 25. So even people who may not have earned it through their play at AAA, given what Spencer Torkelson did accomplish in the major leagues last year, given that we still, some people, and I'm sure some people within the Tigers front office and coaching staff still believe that Spencer Torkelson can be a cornerstone on this team. With September call-ups, especially if the Tigers are out of the race, you need to see if Spencer Torkelson can hit major league pitching. So yes, I believe Spencer Torkelson. I disagree with you, KG. I think Spencer Torkelson will be up for September call-ups and September call-ups only.
Hey, do your 3-point celebration.
Yeah,
come on. Do the celebration. Give it to me. Let's go.
I'm not celebrating. We all know that. act like I've been there before.
Flannel got hot at the end of this game.
Hey, KG, were you insinuating ever he'll never make it up to the majors for the Tigers ever?
Maybe I was.
That's how I interpreted it. Also, I was about to say no, or about to agree with you. I didn't think about the 40-man. JCJ in the chat just said that you set this. You plotted this, KG.
I did.
I was wondering. I think you did too. But did you know about the 40-man or think about that?
I did not.
Yeah. See that he would be a part of that. Even if he doesn't improve, if he just plateaus down in Toledo right now, if you don't call him up in September, that's your signal. You have given up on him, which even if they have, I don't think they send that signal to him before the end of this, before the season's over. They either move on in the offseason or something else. So, Flannel, you are the man.
Yeah.
Oh, you know.
Yeah.
All right.
That celebration, though.
So all the arguments.
It's bad. It's bad.
So all of the arguments are finished, correct?
Yeah. Do we let the poll run through the break?
What else do
You know what?
say?
Don't be trying to get extra. Don't be trying to get
Let's let it run through the break.
How are y'all doing
Hey,
with your
listen.
argument?
Hey, get us a few extra votes here,
Nah,
Flannel.
man.
Flannel, let's do your celebration one more time because you were clutch at the end of this one, man. Let's rock.
the ISO vote was
That
crazy.
deserves a few more votes. Let's go, chat family.
JB, I think we can close the poll. Now I will drop the music, announce the winner of the game.
Somebody throw in the towel because KG, you have lost.
Let's go! Let's go, sucker!
The Woo Crew.
We won
66%.
We won a
This
7-game
fight
series.
is over.
Was that a 3-1 comeback?
That was.
Let's go.
I'm saying,
Let's go.
I
What's that?
blew a
Detroit
3-1 lead,
Pistons
man.
versus the Orlando Magic.
Let's
Man, let's
go.
rock.
You know what? Probably more apropos for Detroit sports station.
Damn.
That did happen as well. Shout out to Tracy McGrady.
I got the KG.
KG was in there. KG was like, yeah, it feels good. Finally get to the second round.
Yeah, man.
And then we got Tayshaun Flannel over here. Let's go.
I got to give it up to my guys. Y'all proved me wrong. Congratulations. Y'all get a round of applause.
Great job. Great questions. I love the way you proposed everything. And I think that the questions really helped the crew dig. That last one, that last question, Flannel, man, that was
In
awesome.
his bag.
Yeah.
That was wild.
And I'm glad we expanded, like, this 2 segments. We got to actually have conversations about the ones that were maybe a little more borderline.
It's fun. That was a
Nice
great
job,
segment.
Justin.
And great job, everybody. Justin had heat. You brought the heat as well.
He did,
Everybody was scoring. Everybody was filling the lanes. It was dope. What business do we got, man?
Boys and Girls Club.
Hey, absolutely. Join the best youth football league in Metro Detroit. The Boys and Girls Clubs of Southeastern Michigan 3C Sports League offer youth ages 5 to 14 with 6 exciting teams to choose from in Detroit, Belleville, Highland Park, and East Point. All coaches are trained, certified, and undergo background checks. Register for football or cheer at bgcsm.org. Equipment, meals, and transportation included, all for a chance to play for a championship at Ford Field for just $175 per child. Put the youth back in youth sports with BGCSM 3C Sports.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola? Really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody!
Thank you to all the fans for making Woodward Sports your #1 online destination for Detroit sports. We promise not to drop the ball.
At Planet Fitness, you can get everything you need for just $1 down.
Try out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Hey, y'all better get on these free fitness training sessions from Planet Fitness.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home? Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
Join Planet Fitness today and get everything you need for just $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, July 18th.
This summer, Dispo Dispensary is turning up the heat with amazing giveaways and exclusive offers. Enter for a chance to win a signed football jersey and helmet from your favorite sports team. Screenshot this image with the QR code, bring it into one of their locations to get scanned, and you'll get a free $10 to spend in store. This will automatically qualify you for the giveaway. Dispo Dispensary, visit today. DispoShops.com, your local cannabis plug.
And after you get some Dispo, you know you're going to be hungry, so head over to Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza. They are known for their quality hand-battered and hand-breaded chicken tenders, chicken sandwich, and you can't forget about the New York style
Vegas,
pizza.
bro.
Yes. That would be nice to have in Vegas as well, too. They got the Nashville hot pizza as well. Locations are popping up all over Metro Detroit. Why don't you expand out to Vegas as well, too? Just saying. They're doubling their number of restaurants this year alone. Soroki's just had their grand opening at Madison Heights, so go and check them out. Or you can always order online at Sorokis.com.
What up, though, people? I was just over here chuckling, man. Welcome back to Wake Up Woodward. Appreciate you guys for choosing to kick off the day with the Woo Crew. We got the entire starting five. We got our original 6-man in the building as well. Terry Foster, the legend, is in the building. But I was chuckling at Shad. He said that dude Justin equals Sam Jr.
And I'm sure that's a compliment coming from you, Shad.
Yeah, but players, he raised up a really, really, really good question. He posed something. Who was the MVP of that series, the finals MVP? And at first, it was like, you know what, as clutch as Flannel Sam was on those last 2 points to bring us back, I thought it was just push button Flannel. And then as we deliberated over the break, it was like, you know what? Justin really set the stage. Yep. Broder had some clutch points. It was really a team effort. Yep. JB, it was awesome.
It was a complete team effort. There's this is one where we all share the MVP.
Hey.
Good team player right there.
Yes.
Hey, you know what? The chat family is MVP. They
yes,
voted.
There we go.
Thank you. So hit that like button as well. Let's zoom through this like goal. But I think it is now time to cook up.
Is it?
I think so.
Let's do it.
And now it's time for the most electrifying segment on the internet. Bum, bum, bum. It's What's Trending with JB. Live on Wake Up Woodward.
Ladies and gentlemen, JB Smooth.
Hey. What's up, fellas?
Hello.
What's going on? Kool-Aid, I am so glad you're back because I've been waiting to show you this video for a while. All I got to say is just peep the eye contact.
Uh-oh.
Oh, double through the legs?
What?
No, stop it. Stop it.
Wait for it.
Oh, my God.
Come on. Let's go.
Crazy.
Let's go. Let's go.
What?
My man,
let's go.
He was posing the whole time. He knew that was going in. That's crazy. One more time. Look at this. Double through the legs. Off the backboard behind the
behind the back. Put a little English on that.
That wasn't even double dribble or treble.
That's crazy.
And look at just the pose, man.
Not even.
What a setup.
Crazy.
Wow.
What a setup. That's having confidence in your squad, man. Hey, bro, I know the feeling. I'm part of the Woo Crew.
What middle school is
So
this?
high.
You know,
middle school children.
What's his name again? I forget the dude's name because he's a trick, one of those trick artists, basketball trick artists. I met him at last year's Vegas Summer League.
Oh, really? Oh.
Trick Daddy.
All of the kids that were there were like, oh, want the autograph. I was like, who is this guy? Looked into what he's doing. And the NBA had him out for like all-star games and all that doing stuff.
That's dope.
That's really, really
I love
dope.
that dude in the background in the Motor City Tigers uniforms. Not really, but the colors, who goes up at the same time as the dunker.
Yeah, because he knew it was good.
He gets up so high.
Hold on, let me see
Look
this,
at how high this guy gets up.
That pass.
And then the
is
dude in the back
crazy.
with the Motor City Connect uni.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to look
I can't get over the pass. The finish is whatever, but the
Oh,
pass.
I see him to the left of the screen.
And then they come down.
I love that type of
That's
stuff, man.
crazy, bro.
That's hype.
That was sick. Like I said, I've been waiting to show you that one for a while. But Broder,
Tristan Jazz. That is his name.
Tristan
Thank you,
Jazz.
JZJ.
Shout out to Tristan
Is that
Jazz.
a silent J?
Almost ready.
Oh my god.
Almost. My wife like you're canceled, Kool-Aid.
Beware.
Oh, you almost got me.
Keep your eyes peeled.
He almost got you, Kool-Aid. He almost got you.
I was gonna say it with like a soft Y sound too.
Yeah. Satisfy that like button. Yeah.
Spanish.
Oh my God.
All right, JB, what you got for me?
All right. Broder, I kind of now know why baseball players do not run routes.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
is he hurt?
He might be hurt.
Is he hurt?
He pulled a hamstring.
I was drinking water right when you put that on.
Oh my.
This is crazy.
I almost ruined the iPad, bro.
The splits, bro. That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Flannel's face is cracking me up.
Yo, dude,
He did the James Brown.
just think about this, bro. Imagine this, Broder. You're, back in your playing days for the University of Michigan, and one of your better players gets hurt doing something like this.
Oh no.
How would you feel? How would your coach feel like that? That's just what are we doing here?
I'd be pissed.
Yes.
I'd be pissed. We would actually run routes for conditioning, because baseball conditioning it's wild, but you got to keep it fun somehow. So we would do some sprints and whatnot.
right.
We're with a football or a baseball, but we never had someone guarding us. Like we would get too competitive like that, where someone could get hurt. But JB said about baseball players running routes. That route was pretty nasty.
That route was
I'll take that dude running routes. That's Devontae Adams.
I'm about to say that's.
It looks like Ellie De La Cruz, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fair.
Hey, as long as that guy's not hurt, we good.
Yeah, we're good.
Hopefully he's good.
Looks all right.
And finally, I need GM Flannel for this one. So I've got some players over here that I would like to introduce to you that might potentially put on your team. And I need to know one out of these 4 players that you would like to be on your team. So, player number 1.
Hingle McCringleberry, Penn State University.
No, I love this
So one
skit.
more time?
This is one of the best skits ever, man.
Oh man.
Hingle McCringleberry, Penn State University.
Okay, so that's option 1.
All right.
That is option 1. Hold on, give me 1 sec.
Jammy. The Ohio State University.
Jammy.
I made sure to keep the first reaction of the next player in there just because it's funny.
Yeah.
Player number 3.
Miskatine Tristan, University of Michigan.
Hey.
Or
University of Michigan.
Or option number 4.
Jack Marius Tactheratrix, Michigan State University.
Flannel, who would you like to have on your team?
I'd like the Kringleberry, the first one. He looks like he's got the most size, looks like kind of more like athletic and everything. So give me Kringleberry.
Hingle McCringleberry, Penn State
He's
University.
got the edge.
He's got that edge, He's not afraid to stick his nose in there. Probably a DB or something. Yeah, maybe make a few.
This is now
He's
a
tight
whole
end,
new
okay.
element that I didn't know this was going to turn into. Actually predicting what type of player Jack Maritrix type Theratrix is. So you think Hingle McCringleberry, he's a DB.
Yeah, probably a DB.
Yeah.
But the chat is loving Fudge right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we gotta see Fudge one more time.
Fudge, let me find Fudge.
I need your combine eyes on this Flannel.
And I don't think he actually speaks his name.
Yeah, I don't
Fudge.
think he.
Oh, it was
speaks
just
his name. I think it's
just the picture. Yeah.
Well, let's see.
Jammy.
Where's Fudge at?
Jammy. Ohio State University.
He look crazy.
You know what?
Fudge. He looks like a fudge.
What university is he going to, though? What university is he out of?
Oh, I'll tell you in a second. But this the inspiration of including this on the show. This was last second adding to what's trending with JB, because JB, you don't have a name on the back of that jersey, right? It's a 22 Miami University.
Yeah, there's no name on the back of it.
Okay, so I Google, hey, who's the most famous or the best, I'll say, notable Miami Hurricanes who wore 22? One of the names that popped up, Sheldrick Redwine.
Sheldrick Redwine?
Sheldrick Redwine. He was recruited to Miami in 2015. He didn't really play much, but Sheldrick Redwine. That name fits right in the Key and Peele skit. Flannel, they've done 4 of those.
Redwine.
So they have like 30 players, all different names and costumes and whatnot. It's so funny.
Sheldrick Redwine. That would fit right in.
That's a top 3 skit for them, man.
Should drink red wine?
Yeah.
That's his name? Should drink red wine?
Basically.
Basically.
Him and Kool-Aid. McKinstry.
That's right.
Basically. But that's it for what's trending, you guys. So let's get back to some mailbag.
Chuckle Cheese said Fudge is from a culinary school. Yo, great what's trending, man. The segment's always fire. Hey, let's get that Feldman read. Get your mailbag questions in as we move to this mailbag segment. We just going into the read, or do we got to take a break?
We got to take a break. We got a little business to take care of.
Hey,
so
let's take care of some business then.
Let's hit up Randy Wise.
Hey, Randy Wise, of course. How would you like to play the University of Michigan golf course with Braylon Edwards? It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour. Register today and you could round off our foursome at woodwardsports.com or scan the code on the screen. Playing golf with 3 other people. Come on. When it comes to your next car or truck, make the wise decision. Randy Wise Automotive.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Thank you to all the fans for making Woodward Sports your #1 online destination for Detroit sports. We promise not to drop the ball.
So just to get the heated steering wheel, I also had the spring for the bigger rims.
Yeah, that's how they get you. Those upgrades will cost you an arm and a leg every time.
Hey, new car crew, how'd it go this weekend? I got a great deal on mine.
How?
I went to Randy Wise, not those other guys. They got me in a great new ride, and they didn't break my budget. Hey, could you pass me the sugar?
How?
Never mind.
He made the wise choice.
Yep.
Make the wise choice at RandyWiseBuickGMC.com.
Dreaming of a new home but feeling the financial pinch? Mark White & Associates, your trusted real estate experts, are here to help. Mark White and his team will pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's right, I said $5,000. Call Mark White & Associates today at 248-290-8242 or visit them at markwhitesells.com. Again, call Mark White today at 248-290-8242 to make your dreams come true.
Let's go. Welcome back to Wake Up Woodward. We appreciate you guys for kicking off the day with the Woo Crew. Got the entire starting 5. We got the coach and 6-man, that dude Justin, in the building. Ryan's reaction, though. My wife and I are down. Where do we meet? Sam and his wife for this score. So, hey, look at Fennel's face.
That took a turn.
That turn, yeah.
You know, look at him with the Abbey as well. I love the picture, too. Ryan's reaction is epic, man.
That is wild business right there.
I know we got mailbag on the way. Get
Great
those
questions.
mailbag questions in. I'm seeing a bunch of support for Fudge, though. Herb Nas. Fudge has to be from MSU.
Oh, you know he is.
Desert Stallion. He said Fudge is a unit. Fudge got to be from Georgia. Fudge is the best fullback in the country from Chase Amley, man.
Fair.
People want the Fudge.
Yeah, man.
Pause.
Dante151 said that Fudge is from Brown University.
No, the Southampton Institute of Technology.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Shout out to
DeVry.
Accepted, one of the greatest movies of all time.
Such a great movie. Hey, ask me about my wiener, right? All right. Since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, and first-class car buying experience called the Feldman Advantage. With 18 locations, there's a Feldman dealership in your backyard. Visit feldmanauto.com to find the location nearest you. Feldman Chevrolet, Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer.
And it is time to get into our Wake Up Woodward mailbag segment presented by Feldman Automotive Group.
Let's go. We got some good ones.
Hold on. Before we get in the mailbag, do you mind if I announce the topic for tomorrow's Bar King?
Oh, yeah, explain.
All right. So hold on. Before we get started, let me do a little something here.
Acknowledge me.
The tribal chief is
Your
here.
reigning, defending, undisputed Bar King is going to defend his title tomorrow, and the topic will be the Lions season outlook.
Ooh.
So you have to make a rap or bar about the Lions season outlook.
The Lions season outlook.
Yes, sir.
All right. 4 to 16 Lions. I'm being strict this week.
All right.
Facts. All right, Sam, I need you in on this because I need your acting here just for a hot second. Mailbag. Shad, 216JF mailbag. Now that Sam finally won something, he can actually say, I win, you lose, without getting dragged for it. Let's see it, Flannel.
Mic drop, I win, you lose. It's got to be organic.
Fair. Dante151, this is from earlier, $9.99 super chat. Thank you so much, Dante. People need to stop with the hate with Arizona and Kyler Murray because their head coach, Jonathan Gannon, had his players playing tough for him, and they went to Philadelphia and beat the Eagles.
That's facts. Even though the Eagles was in a tailspin. But
should we not be sleeping on the Cardinals? I know you're not as high on them this year, but they aren't a joke anymore.
Yeah,
Maybe I'll phrase that.
No, 100%. There's a lot of love for the Cardinals that I see that they haven't earned yet. Yes, they have a lot of draft capital. Yes, Kyler Murray is he's a good quarterback, and Jonathan Gannon appears to be a solid head coach. And at least, absolutely, even after he did that, at least, and he knows defense. When you really look at the Arizona Cardinals roster and what they're bringing back, it's going to take a couple of years for these draft picks to maybe come to fruition or maybe not. I think the Cardinals will finish last in the NFC West this year. I'm not saying going to Arizona is easy under any circumstance, but they're not here yet.
Well said. How about this? Randall Smalls. This is on Tigers trade deadline. Mailbag. We've talked if we trade or we don't trade. If we do absolutely nothing at the deadline, where are we? It would be a crime to not do anything at the deadline, right? Like that's where you start questioning the competence of Scott Harris, which I don't think is going to happen.
Yeah,
you have to move some form of Urshela, Canha, Kelly, Shelby Mill, any of the 1-year contracts. You got to get something in return.
You got to make a decision or at least do something with someone. I would say, honestly, if they do nothing, they finish the season 81-81.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like
the roller coaster, we've said it from the beginning of the year, and this team has continued to prove it. They're going to be hovering around 500.
Yeah.
They're going to have great games against good teams. They're going to have bad games against bad teams as well. But I see them just kind of hovering. And if they don't do anything, though, what a waste of an assessment year, man. Like, put this team in a position to know that you're building something.
Right.
Like let your fans know as well. Like, just you can't sit on your hands.
And there's no chance that they do nothing, by the way.
Yeah.
That's why Broder said it would just be like...
At the very least, Flaherty is gone, I feel like. So.
Yeah. I'll hit... There's 2 Tigers in the mailbag, so I'll just hit them right now. Tony D, mail sack. How confident are you the Tigers keep Skubal? I'm fairly confident.
Yeah, I would say I'm fairly confident as well. Like I said, I don't think the Red Sox or Orioles are offering you the packages that were discussed today. I think they might offer 2 of their top 3 prospects and then maybe some lesser ones. Or, hey, in the case of the Red Sox, I know there's a motive of blocking the Orioles, but I don't even know how willing they'd be because obviously they've got some nice young players who are showing out, but it's not a sure thing.
And shout out to Mike Valenti. I got to give him his credit. He said, if Scott Harris were to make a deal like this, you're taking your job into your own hands at that point. I don't think he's ready to do that.
I was going to say, it feels like you guys' belief also extends to the front office and the fact that you believe they're operating in a good manner with Tarek Skubal. It seems like it would be easy thing to do for a GM to make a desperate thing. Like, okay, we can get some arms, some prospects into this organization, but it seems like the Tigers are really going to take their time and do this thing the smart way.
Like, imagine just really quickly, I know I'm filibustering a little bit. Imagine, and I don't think this would be the case, if somehow, some way the Tigers are able to execute a trade with the Orioles and they get Jackson Holiday and Kobe Mayo back in return. If there's even a week-long slump from those guys, people are going to be like, Scott Harris, what the F did you do?
Yeah.
And that might happen. We saw Jackson Holiday, how he looked in the major leagues at the beginning of this season. So that's...
It will happen, actually.
Yeah, 100%.
Keith is going to have another slump this year, and he'll have one next year. That's what happens with the young players.
Yep.
But it's about sticking with them and putting them in the right position to learn from it. And if they're able to learn from it, that's why we're bullish on Colt Keith, because he can make adjustments in game, in season, in at bat. That's why he's special. One last one on the Tigers. I'll take it, and feel free to follow up on it. Dakota Mullet asks, how long do you think Tarek can maintain this style of pitching? How long can he be a top caliber pitcher in the league? This exact type of pitching and this dominance, he can't do it for 10 years. He's not going to do it for 6 years. He could go on a stretch here 3-4 years where he's one of the best, if not the best pitchers in the league. But every pitcher like that always has one down year at some point, whether it's after or in the middle of that. Maybe he comes back and you have a comeback year. Clayton Kershaw's done it. Verlander's done it. But there's no pitcher that will go 10 straight years and dominate at the top of the MLB. It's, physically impossible. It's just not going to happen.
That's the conundrum with Tarek Skubal. His ceiling is the Hall of Fame. His floor is, this is the best you're ever going to see from him this year.
Yeah.
Which is why God, it's so volatile with pitchers because you saw what he did at the end of last year. We saw what he's done at the beginning of this season. This is basically, if you combine all of that, 1 year for Tarik Skubal being absolutely, absolutely dominant. And that's another one of the reasons why if you get a haul, you got to at least pick up the phone if you're Scott Harris.
Definitely.
Not necessarily trade him, but pick up the phone.
Definitely. Well, 2 more, Kool-Aid. I'm coming to you on a Pistons one, and then one for the entire crew. Megan, I like your question. We're not going to get to it today, but maybe we work it in tomorrow. But Kool-Aid.
Yes, sir.
From Chuck Brewer, mailbag. Anything you heard, saw in Vegas that gives you more hope for this season for the Pistons?
The fact that people, they like the additions. Obviously, there was more that the Pistons could have done to add kind of those potent scores that we liked. But the additions that they brought in, it does bring hope. But what I heard more than like the hope for this season is the belief that the Pistons have made the right foundational choices for their front office and their coaching hires that will give the Detroit Pistons some type of long-term success. And so for me, it's just to kind of tweak the answers a little bit. I'm actually was excited about the optimism that this thing is finally in the right direction based on the perspective of some of the scouts and other personnel in the NBA that I've talked to.
Love it. Love it. All right, last question from the entire crew, and we'll wrap it up at 10:04 so then Kool-Aid can take us out till 10:06 because Ermanni and Edwards yesterday, they finished at 3:54. So we'll just balance it out. We'll balance it out 6 minutes. And Big D will rip us. Neil will rip us when we get back.
I know, right?
We're just trying to, for the betterment of the team. This network, we rely on views. So the business model, we'll help out the network. We'll stay on for 6 more minutes.
Overtime.
Chase Hamley, mailbag. What individual Summer Olympic event do you think you could beat the rest of the Woo crew in? So if you're going head-to-head or on a team or however you want to interpret against us, the rest of us, what sport? Like, I got you guys in ping pong. You guys aren't messing with me in ping pong.
Yeah.
Ping pong?
Yeah. Isn't table tennis or ping pong a Olympic sport?
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm horrible at ping pong.
Table tennis.
I'm horrible at it.
Yeah. So
you'll probably beat me.
Yeah. All right.
I don't think there's a single one I could think of.
Yeah.
For real. Like I said, my claim to fame in high school was 2 mediocre years of JV football. So I'm not the former college athlete like my brethren Kool-Aid and Broder. But you know what?
Right.
I can look okay in a rec league, but the Olympics is not a rec league. Olympic sports are not a rec league.
Now archery,
curling.
No.
Curling,
Swimming?
artistic gymnastics.
I can actually beat y'all in archery. I did it once.
Okay.
Like way back in the day.
Did you get a bullseye?
camp.
Black Hollywood with a ball on his back.
Yeah,
Let's
man,
rock.
stop playing.
Let's go.
Black Arrow.
Black Arrow. Let's go. Let's go.
I like it.
Do you already know he's probably gonna cook something up over there in the TD booth, JB?
Hey, you don't know. I'm just saying.
Hoops, man.
I guess I'm
Definitely
beating you guys in ping pong and KG in archery.
Shout out.
Is esports
I
in the
definitely
Summer
got
Olympics?
y'all in basketball. man.
100%. Yeah, obviously.
How tall are you again?
6'2".
Okay. I
Little
think
bit
it would
taller
be a
with
good
shoes on.
game. I don't know if it would be a given you'd take me down.
Ooh.
I think it would be
I smell a challenge here.
Challenge. We're gonna have to get some content in.
We will. But that was a fun show. Kool-Aid, it was great having you back. We didn't even mention
awesome
to
to
the
be back.
chat. We didn't put Pistons in here today. You got back late yesterday. You were traveling like a madman, so
Yeah.
I didn't want to put a whole Las Vegas Summer League review on the sheet today. So we're gonna talk some Pistons tomorrow.
Yeah.
So great to have you back, though.
It's awesome being back. The Woo Crew, man. The Woo Crew. Can't live without it. I'm so glad that it is a thing, and I know it's going to live on forever. The bonds that are created here, especially with the chat family, the live shows, remotes. I can't wait to get more into that because people like Chase Hamley and Detroit Dabber and Tammy Chin, being able to interact with a lot of our chat family has been an epic experience.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So can't wait, man. Lions are right around the corner. You said Saturday starts training camp.
Rookies, baby. They report.
Let's get it.
Big bat energy, man. This is Lions chain energy. Let's get the chest pass going and we'll break this thing down. Hey, let's rock, man. And shout out to Clutch Flannel. The Woo Crew is on fire today. We took that dub, man. Doing Prove Me Wrong. Great segment from KG.
Yes, sir. I got y'all next week, though. Don't worry.
Hey, let's go. What's trending was smoking. The mailbag questions were dope. Broder, great show. And Flannel and Justin, everybody was cooking up, man. Thank you, chat family, for being here and choosing to kick off the day with the Woo Crew. If you haven't already, go ahead and smash that like button before you leave. If you have, thank you guys for all of the support and the engagement. Let's get this thing going. That dude Justin, 6-man and coach. Great job, man. Glad that you made it in, and we still got you guys in prayer and everything. Definitely blessings. Shout out to our elite, wonderful, stupendous, magnificent, great, good, better than the best.
Yes.
Better than the rest, man.
That's what
Our
I'm
elite
talking
booth. I had to add like a couple more words in there, man.
No, it's all
to
good.
appease our bar king in the sound booth. Detroit's #1 draft pick. That's KG.
Yes, sir.
Like Hollywood.
Great show today, man. The vibes was all there. Shout out to the chat. Appreciate y'all participation. Improve me wrong, even though I'm gonna whoop that ass next week. And I look forward to defending my Bar King title tomorrow. So tune in, man.
Let's rock. In the Teddy Booth, it is Woodward Sports' MVP, JB Smooth.
Jay Bizzle.
Hey, weekend is almost here. NCAA, I'm on the game. I'm telling you, this weekend, it doesn't matter. Kim K could be calling and say she's on the way.
Right.
I don't care. I'm on NCAA.
Right. Bitch, move.
Don't bother me.
Don't bother me. Justin is down here like, yes, preach. Shout out to the vet of the squad, Flannel Sam, bringing the heat, man. You're on fire today, brother. Great job.
I appreciate that. I was
MVP.
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 You know what? It was all a team effort, but those were some great questions, KG. And
Flannel James.
Flannel James.
That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me. That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me. Thank you, man. No, but JB, you're not turning down Kim K. Stop lying. You're not turning down Kim K.
He gonna fit her into the schedule for sure.
If there's a halftime, okay.
That's why they made a pause button.
Absolutely.
Oh, man.
Appreciate you guys.
Great job. It's your boy Brandon, aka Detroit Kool-Aid, your credential Pistons writer for the network. Thank you guys for staying tapped in with the Woo Crew. Make sure you guys tune in to Big D Energy. It's been the show. It's been Wake Up Woodward. Have a blessed day, you guys. Let's go.
The waves are crashing on Lake Huron. Got 25-mile-an-hour winds, but we got drinks and a bonfire, baby. We're good to roll. Woodward Sports for life.